Community Mechanical, Jake. You know who they are?
I do, Dan.
Do you say I do? Yeah, they are our HVAC company. They're great. And they want to remind you that before that summer heat really kicks in, why don't you schedule some preventative maintenance right now? Get on their plan.
Yeah, you're getting a little, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for here, Dan? I have a major brain fart. You're getting a reprieve from the heat right now.
Yes.
But that's not going to last long. I've looked at Saturday's temps. I've looked at next week. You need the preventative maintenance. And Community Mechanical, if they come out, most of them can dunk. So if you have a basketball goal and that's something you're interested in, you can text 469-667-7290. Travis will answer your call mid-dunk. CommunityDFW.com. And if you book with Community Mechanical and you go through with a new HVAC system, a 690 sit-in, like the one where we are today. So hit up Community Mechanical at CommunityDFW.com.
All right.
Reprieve.
What's a preve?
That's a great question.
If you're doing it again, it must be good. Hello again, everybody. Jim Nance here.
You know, I say that.
I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
Clayton Kimbrough is here as well. Clayton is, but we're not in our studio. If you are viewing us, we're streaming live.
That's a Roman salute.
On the tube, on the the YouTube, on the Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't
well.
know we were doing vid today.
I didn't either. I thought
didn't
this
either.
was an audio-only thing, and Clayton just showed up with his cape.
I didn't do my hair.
I mean, I actually was curious because Dan asked specifically, which he doesn't usually do. So I thought you were going to show up with, I don't know, new teeth today you wanted to debut but not be on camera.
Well, no, same thing. Do I have to get extra spiffy? Blake
Right.
said no.
Right.
And Clayton showed up, so we are doing the vid. And we are not in our downtown Dallas Fox 4 studios. We are not high atop my garage. We are at the home of one Matt Grimm.
Whoa. DZRV MVP.
He was the MVP of the DZRV, probably of the other time we did it as well. Went down to San Antonio.
Yeah.
We at least have to say that, just so he'll drive us again.
Yeah, it's kind of like winning the NBA Cup. Like an in-season tournament. Like, we put it on there. He did it, but the finals is camp. And that journey. No, this is like Centcom for the Dumb Zone or something. Like, we're not at home, but this is basically home base.
What a nice house. Have you walked around the house?
I
It's
walked
really
around,
nice.
I
And there
walked
was
around
like,
the gym.
I was like, this is North Richland Hills? No way. The way you've described it is kind of Beirut-like.
That is not true. That is not true at all. This
Hollowed out
I would have
shells
never
of-
called this North Richland Hills, though. But if it is called that, then this is a.
That's where you live? That's what this is? Oh, this is officially Fort Worth. All right.
This is a very tricky area over here. The last time we went to a house that had a North Richland Hills address, you were like, "This place is amazing." I'm like, "Well, this isn't where I grew up." But there's very nice parts of North Richland Hills. Just the further you get over towards the high school, the freeway, the Haltom, we're not too far from, somewhat subpar neighborhoods.
The
This is a nice
slums
house.
I rescued my wife from.
Is that right?
Nah, dude, you get you a good Haltom woman, you're set for life.
They're grateful.
Gina.
They don't forget where they came from.
Anyway, that is a
sick.
topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys kind of off the air, but we are talking about going to Denver for the Cowboys game. And Blake is stoked right now because you could save a couple $100, I think, on a flight. But did we want to drive? Do we want to – like, that was kind of fun. I don't know how long it takes to get to Denver.
Well, the driver is saying yes.
He wants to go to Denver.
It's not that bad if you know what you're getting into. It's what? He said 10, I
10
said
hours?
13, so it's in the middle. Yeah. We'll figure it out. But if you go in thinking this is driving a day, then you're going to be miserable. But it's not bad.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, let's fly. Because he wants to leave at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
That's who Matt Grimm is.
Yeah, and
He is the earliest. He needs no sleep. I don't know what his deal is.
yeah, and I don't know that we're like to the level where we can get gold bracelets yet, but I think we can pay for the flights, especially with the deal hunter on our side.
I found a coupon.
But it's just I never feel comfortable like deciding anything in like a 5-day period. I need a lot of time to sift and think on it. And
Yeah.
Blake's like forcing our hand like now. The deal ends today. It's like, okay, well, what if we just paid a couple hundred more next week?
I think
But
that's a bad plan.
That's a bad plan. That's why we are.
As long as you don't get upset with us when we force you to move quick, then we're good.
No,
I know you want to move slower and take time, but sometimes
to make sure it's
what
right.
we have.
I don't want to rush this, honey.
We got a little momentum.
Do we?
We're going to Denver. It's just a matter of how we're getting there. So
Yeah. Well, the momentum can all stop this Saturday.
Could stop
if
today.
The Dumb Zone generic summer event
Yeah,
doesn't go well.
We're still on.
I
Clayton?
have real fear.
It is presented by Qualis Roofing. Actually, Business Wednesday, we spent, we, meaning Dan, Jake, Clayton, just about everybody in our tiny operation, except one guy just didn't show up, didn't care.
It's supreme confidence from Blake, because if this goes super, super shitty Saturday, he really opened himself up for being blamed for it.
Because he wasn't there
You weren't
yesterday.
there, so
I thought you guys could handle it.
Yesterday,
It's
we
not.
were scouting out the local shacks at Austin Ranch, which I'm piecing together why it's called that. It's a bad name.
Okay.
But Jerry understands by me saying that will highlight their name even more, and you're just not going to forget where this event is.
Right.
But as I'm driving into the Colony, which that in itself seems like, is that a city? What are we talking about here?
I was thinking about it yesterday, how funny it would be named if that city was just called the Country. Like, how do you just
like
Colony?
the Colony, yeah. Is it a city?
What are you, City FC? Like,
Anyway,
dude,
that's
come up
called
with a name.
Already, it's called the Colony, and that's confusing enough to me because I thought I'm in Plano or something. Anyway, but then inside the Colony, there's another little subset called Austin Ranch. I don't know where it starts or ends, but I saw like a sign that you are now in Austin Ranch. Like, oh, okay. And then then the shacks, the local shacks at or in. I don't know. Anyway,
You just put it in your phone.
that's where we'll be Saturday.
Yeah.
Qualis Roofing is setting us up. They were out there. They're going to have a big tent. So come on out and look at a tent Saturday. And, Grady Spencer was out there as well, prepping the scene. We had Prophets and Outlaws out there. Again, everybody. Raymond was out there. He's going to set up his press so he can actually make T-shirts on site. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I haven't. I literally haven't. So we were pretty covered.
We're starting at 6. Doors open, they say, at 11. Like, there's no way any of us will be there by then, but if you want to, you meaning those listening to this.
I just want to make sure Blake is free.
Saturday?
Yeah.
What time?
Can you? Anyway, we'd love to have you, Blake. The Beehive, I believe, has been activated. So,
Yep.
Can I ask you guys a question, safe space question? The other thing that happened to me while we were out there, I got there a little bit early because I had a virtual doctor's appointment at 11. And I was running around. It was drop kid off, run up to the Colony, and then get inside Austin Ranch, and then get right by those local shacks. And it was like 10:59. I had to pee really, really bad. And it's like a massive, massive parking lot. And I just peed in a water bottle.
Man, I haven't done that in a long time.
I hadn't either. And I'm
unless
here
you're like stuck in traffic or something crazy.
I didn't want to be late for my appointment. The time had run out. I wasn't going to run over to the local shack. They weren't open, but I had no time to find out. I have a huge water bottle, and I'm like, there's many things about being a male that are burdensome, difficult, carrying the weight of the world.
Most of them. Yeah.
My head hurts from my brain being so big. But another one that I think goes underused is, what does a female do in that spot?
It's a great benefit.
And I was looking at it, and I'm like, there's no exposure. Like, you're curving, and there's nothing. I don't think I'm going to end up with, like, having to register as an offender.
Like, why do dudes want to transition to be ladies? That seems more difficult. Like,
yeah,
if you
already
just
have
call
a
it
hole.
If you just call it that thing. But I could see why ladies want to transition.
But, like, you would never do that, would you?
Transition?
No.
Or pee in a bottle? Sure.
Like today, if you're just like, I got to go, I'm in a parking lot.
I might just open the door and then stand there and look around.
Because
and
that
you're
was
facing your car and you kind of.
That was my thought, is that
Yeah.
that feels dangerous. Like someone drives by and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm traumatized from when I was a little kid. I went to pee outside in between my yard and a neighbor's yard. I think it was like 6, maybe 5. And the neighbor stormed over. It was like my granddaughter could see. She was like 5 or 6 too. It was really weird, dude. My mom still tells that story. This guy came over and was all pissed off and like they're exposing their genitals.
You're like, huh? What?
I'm like, what?
What's a genital?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyways, Saturday.
I got a couple things.
I'll be out there pissing in bottles.
Okay.
I got a couple things. Actually, the guy that made the Nico Harrison urinal cakes sent me a few, and we will. You'll be able to come out to the local shacks at Austin Ranch.
No bottle needed.
And go potty on Nico Harrison's face.
All right.
Jerry was saying they ordered extra Lone Star beer. Like they usually have Lone Star beer anyway, but he wanted to make sure they're stocked up.
Yeah.
And so
he gave me a number, and I said, why don't you double it, Hoss?
Yeah, if you get out there and need some Lone Star beer, they're going to be there. A couple things before we get to sports today. The TV show Tires Season 2 premieres tonight.
Oh, does it?
I know you'd be interested in that.
Definitely.
I don't know what time.
I will not be
Does
watching
it all drop at the same time, or does Tires go week by week?
Don't remember.
Okay.
Don't
well,
remember.
Anyway, we got our Shane Gillis vehicle back on HBO.
Netflix.
Really? Okay.
Unless they moved it.
Okay, no. If it started on Netflix, it's on Netflix. I don't know. It's on my TV, and I will figure out where it is. When are they going to have something that can just have all the channels be on the same thing?
I just don't really find it to be that prohibitive, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
I talked to our friend Kurt. You've met Kurt at a cowboy watching party. Kurt is one of the owners of the Mesa Grill.
Yeah.
Aww. Tex-Mex
in Grapevine, well known as the Tex-Mex restaurant, which out in front of it there is a 9/11 memorial. And the Mesa Grill has closed.
Yeah.
And I just cold called Kurt saying, what happened? Like, that was the first, he's like, hey, Dan. And I'm like, what happened? That's it. No pleasantries.
No time.
Because it was Business Wednesday, and he gave me some sad business talk. Apparently, he was like, look, we were here. We made it through the pandy. Apparently, if you're a restaurant owner who has made it through the pandy, that kind of like is a badge of honor for being a restaurant owner.
Yeah, I mean, they should have a badge of honor from when I went to rehab, because I was buying like a gallon of margaritas to keep them in business with my wife during the pandemic. We would eat there all the time. They were doing margs to go. It's a great place.
But I basically said to him, I go, everybody who has talked to me about Mesa closing down says why it was always packed. Like some places, you're like, this is not long for.
Yeah, no.
Go to a. Anytime they open up one of those local salad places, I always go because I'm trying to live forever, and there's never anyone in there.
It is funny, though,
It's-
speaking of, like, where we are today. I saw one today, like, over, like, the Watauga area. I'm like, there's no way.
It's not going to survive.
It's just no way.
Cool. Like, you're into it, and I support you. I'm going to try and go here twice a week, but
Yeah, I'm more likely to drive by and throw cheese at that place.
okay, well.
You know what I mean?
Open up like an 80th pizza restaurant, though. It'll still be thriving.
Right.
Anyway, it's always packed. He said it was because their lease was coming up and a price increase on that lease. They had a 7-year lease. The price increase was quite significant, and they tried some haggling, but they were told, hey, we can get more. We can bring in a big chain. They're a local.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I mean, you know, this is – I drive by this 5 times a day. And so for me, I loved Mesa, but also it's more of the symbolic thing of like, well, if they're pricing out a local Tex-Mex restaurants that was banging, who's going to be able to pay for that? Probably not a place I want there, you know?
Right.
And it's a cool little – I mean, it's Grapevine. I'm not trying to make it seem like I live in Brooklyn, but it's a cool little area right there where they have some cool things. They also never forget, which is a huge part of the whole
I used
milieu.
to forget all the time before I drove around there.
And I don't know that these new owners, they may forget.
Don't even know if they know. Anyway.
Pathetic. So, yeah, that sucks. There's a couple of – I mean, I'm sure it's happening in everybody's town. And I don't know how this shit works, but there was a great place, a little kitchen that had been running out of downtown Grapevine for years and years and years. It was like a catering place. And they just got bought out. Like, their building got sold to a private equity firm, and they said, adios. And it's like, okay.
I'm learning that
trying.
If you say private equity firm, that means that's a negative thing in certain connotations with business.
It depends. It depends on which side of the gun you're on.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, moment of silence for Mesa.
Well,
What's going to happen to the
Blake?
jet fuel can't melt steel beam salsa?
Dude, you know what's funny about that? We've done that joke series for years, and then yesterday, as I was up at the local shacks at Austin Ranch in the Colony, taking a piss in a bottle, I was staring at a place. I swear to God, just full disclosure, I was talking to the therapy lady, and I was staring in that parking lot to a place called Tex-Mex Liquor. And I Googled it. It's a real place up there. It's a real place in the Colony. It's a liquor store just called Tex-Mex Liquor. And if you guys are telling me I got out of the game before they started doing, like, enchilada vodka or,
Are you
I
upset?
waited a long time
Would you like
for
to go
this.
back?
Yeah, like this is what I was hanging on for was, mole whiskey.
Spiked queso.
Yeah. Anyways.
Also, went to the gym on the way home yesterday,
You do be lifting.
as I do. Saw something I'd never seen before. A lady in a full, is it a hijab? What is the thing that covers every part of your body except your eyes?
Well, I
like
get
a
confused on the
Arab-
difference between hijab and burqa, but yeah.
Well, whatever. It's the long dress.
Could
the
you
thing
see her
over the
face
head,
or just her eyes?
Couldn't see the face, just the eyes.
That's more burqa.
Somebody was walking her around, showing her the gym, and I'm like, wow. Because we got the guy that wears jeans.
Yeah.
And a tucked-in white tank top T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like he looks real country. Mm-hmm. And at the gym, everybody is welcome. I don't know if you found this, but my gym is very.
Yeah, most of
there's
them are.
real hardcore muscle heads that wear the Gold's Gym tiny thing. There's olds. There's a guy in a walker that takes him literally 15 minutes to get from one machine to the other. And I always wonder, does he want me to help him do anything? But I don't think he does. I'm just picturing, me at that age. Like, I think I don't want anybody messing with me or talking to me at all. Well, that's me at this age as well.
He's just out of the house to get away from his wife, so he's in no hurry.
So he's like, this is great. Like,
Oh, yeah.
At least he's moving.
Yeah, no, whether the wife exists, I mean, it's getting to go look at something else.
I think he's getting more steps than I am just by walking across the room. It's taken him 4,000 steps just to get.
Yeah, but if
to
you're
his
at
car.
a rec or, 24, those places are fairly welcoming. If you want to get people who, there are gyms you can go to where people are assholes. But in general, I agree. Yeah, I found that.
But anyway,
Well, here's my question. So
the variety of people, it's great because you just live in your own world. You do your own thing. You can grunt. You can do whatever, and nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you.
The hijab I've seen, hijab, I'm sure I'm saysaying that incorrectly.
H-job.
It's the H-job. But the burqa, how are you working out in that? I guess you have to.
I didn't see her work out. She was only being shown everything.
Was she with a male that was not a city employee or a rec person or gym person?
Yes.
There was a man. Okay. She was
but it looked like she was, it looked like she was like scouting it out. Like, do I want to work out here? Do I want to pay, $30 a month or whatever it is?
Do you subscribe to TC's opinion about the burqa?
I don't know what it is.
It's one that we kind of fleshed out.
The hole should be at the mouth?
It's one that we kind of fleshed out. No, you just get to pick, two. You know, all right, I'm going to go mouth.
Where do you want the hole? Need one for one eye, maybe.
This was fleshed out during COVID because TC's like, man, these masks are kind of hot because I get to guess. And then we started thinking, the ultimate, the burqa, you can really run wild with your imagination there.
There's just no way there's any hot under that burqa.
You are out of your goddamn mind.
You think there's some really because if that's an excuse to not keep it together. I'm
Dude,
wearing the burqa.
You have this so backwards it's not even funny.
Huh.
And in fact, this is where we turn Dan into a far right incel even further. I would actually say that a lot of those women, because of the way their culture works, they keep themselves looking extremely nice, and only their husband sees it.
Or else he beats her.
Well, listen. Okay, seriously.
Yeah.
Do you think a culture that's like, you can't go outside without me, and you're not allowed to show your face to anyone else, lets her turn into a Roseanne? It's not happening.
Interesting.
She will be replaced yesterday. So I would actually say, more often than not, when's the last time you saw a huge lady in a burqa?
Well,
Come to think of it, I can't think of the last time I saw a fat Muslim lady.
All right.
A little fear in there,
Little implication.
I mean, the point, like, Parcells, his players hate him when they play for him, but they appreciate it afterward.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. That's sports.
I also I have a new I have a sports segment, a new name for a segment, but we can do that here in sports.
Ooh, it's new sponsor time, is it not?
We have a new sponsor?
We do. Trident Access Services. This is a garage door company. We met this dude the other day, and this is not...
Welcome.
Yes, welcome, indeed. Garage door, huge pain in the ass. Not with Texas Trident. TXTrident.com. I'm not sure. Jeremy didn't put this on the copy, but he has like a really sick full leg tattoo, and it's all oceany. I was like, what's the deal there? And he's like, I was in the Navy. It's a Poseidon tattoo. So he rules the seas, and now he's ruling the space of garage doors, Dan.
Yeah, they say as a veteran-owned company, they've been dedicated to service, and they're dedicated to making them a trusted resource for garage door and entry gate service. That is their ultimate goal. Entry gate. How about a gate, bro?
How about it?
Yeah.
They can do it for you at txtrident.com. Jeremy, great dude. Similar story to ours. Starting their own thing. 817-512-1212. 817-512-1212.
And we're great dudes, too.
I didn't.
Great.
We just started
Jake
our own
has a
thing.
tattoo.
That's true.
So you're kind of like Jeremy. Jeremy.
A man of service. Let's see. What all could we do today? We could start with Cowboys, and you go Schotty, and I got a couple players. I had an article come out today, which is really just the stuff we've been talking about on the show written down. But it's just the idea that, and you're going to hear it in this audio, all anybody can ask Brian Schottenheimer about is fun, because that's his entire resume. I want to be clear. I'm not coming off the position that this was a very poor process in hiring this guy. You have all the money in the world. You have all the prestige in the world. You have a quarterback that's not a joke. Like, he's one of the guys that a great coach thinks he can win with. And they lowball a guy who you know his dad, who's – I mean, I put in the article, Dak has probably called more plays in the NFL than Brian Schottenheimer has. Brian Schottenheimer has like a 3 or 4 year run, and he was doing it with Pete Carroll, you know?
So he wasn't calling plays?
He was calling them for a few years, but there's a level of calling plays, and then there's a level of calling plays, right? And one of them is you've got Pete Carroll or any – like a Belichick coordinator. They're not always – he's in charge. So he has no resume, but we got ping pong, we got paintball.
We sure do.
And it's working on me because –
It's working on all the media.
Well, they're just reporting what's happening, but it's
Except
working
those
on
of
me.
us with a little bit of their own
Your own brain?
thoughts.
Yeah. But mine is not just that I don't have my own brain. I'm curious what Blake thinks about this. Yes, as you may know, the Cowboys won 36 regular season games over 3 years. It's a lot more than most teams. But they haven't felt like a cool team in a long time to me. And I think that's because like their coaches or Garrett was boring and McCarthy had a real like, yeah, F off, you know who I am attitude. But they need a coach to just be the coach and let the players be the players. Like, let the inmates run the asylum. They have a better chance of standing up to Jerry than any coach does. So just get out of the way.
Yeah, to me,
Make sure we have reservations at CC's.
Yeah, their players just became less cool to me. Like, I love Dez. I love the attitude he brought. Marion Barber.
Witten was cool to me in his own, like, crazy,
hard-ass way. But,
Sean Lee.
yeah, when you're led by Dak, and for a little bit, Amari Cooper was silent. CD has the sniff, but I don't know.
It felt like, though, when Micah first joined, they felt cool.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like their
Zeke
defense
was cool.
is kicking ass now. They still got Zeke is fun, although, diminishing skills. But, Dak wasn't the focal point.
Right.
And now it kind of seems like Dak is the focal point, and I think that's where you can lead to they're not cool.
I just want the team. When you think of the Cowboys, you think of CD, you think of Micah.
I think of Dak.
The problem is that their coach talks again in like therapy speak and in new age business speak, and so does their quarterback, and that's not actually that cool in football. It's great in personal life. Can't meditate your way out of a third down.
Therapy speak, new age guy feels like position coach to me. Like that is why hard ass coaches, there's a good cop, bad cop thing a little bit with the position coach can be your buddy. Can talk you through things. Here's what we really need, and But for the head coach to be the buddy guy, I just don't know if this will work. I mean, it's well known that guys like Tony Dungy, who are not necessarily buddy type, but are thought of as not screaming in your face types, do hire coaches under them that are well known for being screaming in your face types. Like he thinks it's kind of needed, perhaps. It's just not going to come from me.
Right.
Like, because there are different people learn different ways. And maybe that works as a head coach because, like, even Belichick wasn't a scream in your face guy.
Right. I mean, he would call you out in a meeting, like to a degree that I'm not sure I see Schotty doing. But
right. If Dak is really got sloppy footwork or whatever it is,
I can't see it.
You would hear that Belichick would call out Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And that the mutual respect that they had, Brady would take it, and Brady would realize what this is really doing. It's getting everybody else that's in this meeting on the to kind of sit up straight, like, oh my God,
he can go at anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a little bit of audio from Cowboys OTAs. This is Marist Leofau, their third-round pick from last year, defensive tackle. Okay, we'll try this, Blake. I don't know which one it's going to come through, but we'll just want to back up computer here. This is I want you to hear the first question.
It's not playing on either one.
It's not playing on either one. Awesome. What do you think here, Blake? Do you think we should just try the headphone one?
Or throw it in the Dropbox. I'll throw it. I'll play it.
What's your Audacity source over there?
Would you like me to play some Schottenheimer audio?
Yeah, you do
leading
that.
up to this? Because
so
this
that I don't
also
jump
is
off
my
of,
brand new segment I want to debut. It's Schottenheimer audio, Schotty audio. It's Schotty-o.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very good. Schotty-o for tactical Schotty. We're building a base here.
So Schotty-o. Let's see. With Schotty, we're learning who he is and what he likes to do. This is not going to be the. He just had a press conference the other day. You know, they got their mini camps going on, and we're picking up some patterns from Schotty. One of those is that he will kind of ask a question within an answer.
It's like having a uncle or a grandfather in some cases that you can use as a sounding board, you can use as a mentor. You know, are they going to be friends? Hell, I hope so. But if they're not, there's experiences that they can.
Okay.
What is that?
Just that way of
Is that a
talking?
business school thing? You tell me.
We are trying to throw the best practice in the NFL to date today. And can we do that? I don't know. We'll see. But so 2024 is over. Now it's 2025. Are we going to win the Super Bowl this year? I hope. I think we are.
Why?
Okay. So he's asked about, you talk about what do we know about this guy. He's fired up. He's enthusiastic. My comp here, because I've been around a little while, is that I remember when Dave Campo took over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. The enthusiasm is through the roof. That was one of the things. You were leaving this Chan Gailey, boring guy. My God. Dave Campo is fired up. He's running around. He's doing this. The energy Dave Campo has. It's, anyway, Brian Schottenheimer was asked about the parts of practice that the media can see. He's running around. He's here to here. He's going to position group. He's really fired up.
Well, it's actually funny that you asked me that question, and I'll answer. And the reason I smile is the way we practice and the way that I act at practice. My father is looking down from heaven going, "What are you doing?"
So this is another pattern we're picking up on.
Yeah, let's reference old Marty.
He will bring up Marty
My dad.
in almost every press conference. And if your resume kind of is your dad,
You got to play the hits.
kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's got this long resume or all these great things he's done.
Apparently, by the way, also St. Peter not requiring a Super Bowl ring.
My father is looking down from heaven going, "What are you doing?" Like, that's not how you
Ghost tour. Ghost tour laugh. Ghost tour
looking
laugh.
down from heaven going, "What are you doing?" Like, that's not how you practice. But my father also coached a long time ago. And the type of athletes and type of young men that we're dealing with has changed. I believe that it's the coach's responsibility first and foremost to create a great practice environment. What do I mean by that?
Oh, what
gonna
do
do that
you
too.
mean by that?
If we don't have energy and we're not into it and we're not running around and we're not talking, then the players aren't going to be able to do that because they're going to follow our lead. And when we show them that we're going to let our personality shine and we're going to be who we are and be joyful out of practice, then they're going to do that.
What are we doing, a drag show? Well, we're going to let our personalities really sing out there. Like, I don't know. This is very hard for me because I know that this is the sort of stuff that people say when they have no substance.
I think
right?
what I would say reminded me of that and what I really fell for that was my years in Seattle. I think I've talked to you guys a little bit about Pete. I mean, I remember Pete being...
You guys know him, right? You guys remember?
So, again,
I know him too and stuff.
He'll go on to talk about how Pete Carroll was all fired up at practice, and that's kind of who he's taking that from. It's really the only guy he's ever referenced that he's taken stuff from because, you know, I think it's the highest position he's ever had before, and that was like a decade ago. And then my final Schotty thing is just Micah's not there. And I guess Schotty early on, you know, made it a big point to say, oh, I've talked to all the people. I'm having dinner. I had dinner with CD. I had dinner with Micah. We love to eat and all this, and everybody's on board with everything. And one of the things Schotty talked to Micah about at dinner is like he needs him to step up and be a leader. We need you to be more of a leader now. People are following you. There's no more DeMarcus Lawrence here. There's, you're looking for that big contract. This is the time for you. And I think one of the things he said was like you need to be present. Okay. So I don't know what you think that means, but Brian Schottenheimer is going to explain now, Micah, the fact that he's not there.
Physically.
He's not physically there.
Yeah, I mean, again, being present doesn't necessarily mean being here all the time.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Good. Because I was wondering
Yeah.
what that meant. So, when you alert your wife that you'll be present at the birthday party this Saturday or
What
whatever.
does that mean, really? Yeah, can I be? I'm thinking about it.
Play this for her when you don't show up.
Yeah, I mean, again, being present doesn't necessarily mean being here all the time. Doesn't mean necessarily having to practice. It means being present, being around the guys. I mean,
Why is it
we all don't see the things that some of these guys do away from here. There's a lot of work being done away from here, whether it's with other players in the NFL, our guys, things like that. And again, the thing that I know about Micah is Micah wants to be here. He's excited about what we're building. He's been a big proponent of that, and you can lead a lot of different ways, and this is a business, and they're working through the business part of this deal.
Yeah.
But again, everything I've asked him to do, everything that I've required, no different than everybody that's here, he's been great with, and so that gets me excited, and I'm a big fan of Micah.
That's awesome.
Should he have said that?
He sounds like
What do you mean?
he sounds like he's just doing PR.
Is he being present? I mean, kinda. I mean, he's around. He's playing ping pong. He's at
Right.
paintball.
You
Is
know,
he in team meetings? No. Is he practicing? No.
He's
But
not everything he's required to do, though. But
he's at the lunch.
these Zoomers,
Wanna
though,
buy lunch?
they're not going to come to the office every day. They need a little mixed,
A little work from home.
little work from home half the time. Give yourself a little mental break. No, that's a bad bit right there. I mean, because once you've used the word present to then have to backtrack and redefine. My wife said to me and said she wanted to have sex with a guy named Brian. I said yes. It was not specific. Here, listen to this one. Now I think we can play this, Blake. This is the first question to Marist Leofow. This is some classic story hunting. Oh. Blake.
Playing through your computer.
Yeah, you walked over here.
And it looked good.
You don't have anything plugged into the output.
This one.
All right.
Have you had a head
Here we
coach that wears?
Okay, we got it.
Sweet.
Listen very closely.
Have you had a head coach that wears a backward visor in practice before?
That's not.
Is that fun?
This is what we're doing.
Are backwards visors fun?
I don't know. I don't
they're kinda
understand
lame.
why. Like if
Do they lead to victories?
Dan Quinn had a backwards hat, and we were like, this guy is racy as hell. What we're doing? This guy's pushing the envelope, but a visor.
Interesting.
Have you had a head coach that wears a backward visor in practice before?
No, this is my first one.
Yeah.
I think he thought there's going to be a big reaction and laugh.
Play that again. Clayton is pointing out to me there's a background sound you need to pay attention
Oh, we're going to hear the background sound the whole time.
Okay.
And it will be a topic.
Have you had a head coach that wears a backward visor in practice before?
No, this is my first one.
Yeah.
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 What do you make kind of his coaching style? In his
I mean, I love it. I love his that's his personality. I love that he is who he is.
Also, I mean, you're looking for a quote, but you already know the quote, so you have the story written, but I'll ask him to be official. Again, that's a question that there's no other answer.
Well,
what do you think of your brand new coach's coaching style?
Pussy, this guy sucks.
Your playing time is dependent upon what this guy thinks of you.
Yeah, it's.
So go ahead, give your honest opinion here.
I get it, but there are more of these because they have a story to write, and that ping pong table is just sitting there.
Kind of has that swagger and just brings it to the table every day. And you love that from a head coach, just showing you who they are and showing you that they're ready to work and that they're gonna show up to work and have that energy to get better.
Can't you feel it?
Yeah, no, I hate when you have those
Can't you
coaches
feel
that
it?
don't show up to work, though.
Yeah.
How many times have I, been on a team where we just barely see the coach?
Different does it feel?
Just like what do you mean?
I mean, just
Okay, again, now the athlete is tired of it. You've already asked me 3 different versions of how does it feel.
Yeah, to get better.
how different does it feel?
Just like what do you
I
mean?
mean, just from like a Michael
Oh,
how
to what Schotty brings.
I mean, I feel like the players, from the players' standpoint at least, like running to the ball, there's a lot more energy and emphasis on running to the ball, getting to the football as a defense, and attacking the ball really, emphasizing takeaways and.
Bingo!
What?
We are the only team this year out of 32 that will be emphasizing turnovers.
I've never heard that from the Cowboys before either. Yeah, this is weird. This is great.
Been a big topic. What do you think this ping pong
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's ask about it.
Ways and things like that.
the culture has been a big topic. What do you think this ping pong table and the other changes like that are bringing to this?
Yeah.
All right, so obviously you know now that's the story. That's why we have to keep asking about this. It's the same guy asking, right? And this is why you can go talk to Maris Leofow for 5 minutes and get 4 questions in. Now you can write the story because Dak's not going to sit here and answer these questions. Not like this. So.
Yeah. It's making me a better ping pong player for sure.
Okay,
Good.
excellent.
Good.
So we
Fantastic.
made
That was coming out
our
of
third-round pick,
coming out of Notre Dame.
ping pong.
Mel Kiper's weakness.
I can't play ping pong, folks. Fold. Big 12. Yeah, I mean it's insane.
Can't return a serve.
And even Leofow knows like this is ridiculous. What am I so? Well, I'm better at ping pong. You know, I mean, I'm
It's
practicing.
a fun atmosphere in the locker room, and we get to compete against each other on the ping pong table. But something a little fun, just a little fun thing we do between meetings and things like that.
Does it kind of make certain guys that might not otherwise interact kind of mix in with each other and
Yeah.
go close?
Now we have your angle.
That's
Dan.
also you're leading the witness here.
Of course.
You're
Maris Leofow said that guys are interacting that they wouldn't before.
right.
Yeah. You know the drill.
Like it's the blood and Crip picture holding the two bandanas together. Offense and defense. Look at us go.
Yeah, it's
Got,
just Deron Bland.
Brandon Aubrey is
Jake
doing the
Ferguson.
sniff, the finger
Yeah.
sniff now after
Yeah.
every made field goal.
Holy
That would
shit,
be
dude.
great.
If we got him a made field goal celebration,
Dude, could we? What's the fine? First of all, CD
We'll
would
pay
pay.
it?
First of all, you know CD would pay it if he did the sniff.
Dude.
Brandon Aubrey's fine.
If he hit a
$50,000.
if he hit a big game-winning kick and hit that Young Ducks,
There's no way
it
he'd
would
ever do it.
break the internet. Break it. One more. I left one more answer in here for you. Just funny to me. It's not really about Schotty.
Right now, probably Wanye.
Oh yeah. So they asked him like, "Hey, who's the best ping pong player?" You know, that's a generic question you got to ask.
Right now, probably Wanye. Yeah.
What'd you work on this offseason about you individually?
Just kind of flippantly, what'd you work on? Like, okay.
My backhand. Oh no, you were talking about football.
You individually.
Me individually, I think I worked on my speed the most, just doing a lot more sprints than I would usually do.
Cool. It's just the ping pong in the background.
Can't write that story.
It's just
But
so.
he did some sprints.
And then there's it's all Deuce Vaughn was asked about. I think I got a little bit of him.
And the energy that he brings inside that from just the immediate, as soon as we get to going, even the team meetings this year, man, we've implemented the basketball into our team.
You're damn right we did. Good God. It's because of the FaceTime on the computer. We're struggling today. Deuce immediately. What's it like? Well, we have basketball.
Into our team meetings and stuff
Do
like
you
that.
think you'll be better
just
on
for
the flag football team
football
than
team?
you are on this team?
He just has to hang on in the NFL until 28.
for the not going into my third year,
No way.
him being the offensive coordinator, his lights always shine through, and I have just a whole bunch of stories that I could tell. But man, just understanding that the way that he goes about on the football field inside this building might be even more.
Let me just follow up on that. Energy is kind of it's a cliche term. Like I don't know how to define that. How would you define what that energy is? Are there specific
Good question.
examples?
I'd say it's somebody that you can tell it's not for somebody that loves this game, loves these guys inside this locker room, and he's just being himself every single day.
So, at a minimum, he is not being forced to have one of the most elite jobs in the world that pays him $5 million a year.
He actually is happy
He's
about
pretty psyched about it, pretty pumped.
Okay.
That's what we know about him. But, yeah, we're going to probably track this throughout camp and off season. Dude, camp is going to be – there's going to be water guns and –
Oh, my
Because
gosh.
you know, like, camp already is – there's a bit expectation. Whether it's mojo moments, whether it's Jason Garrett taking him to the beach and Joe Randall diving in face first.
Yeah.
Like, you take this energy out to California and camp and everything. It's going to be they'll have like a car wash.
Can I call something? At some point in camp, Schottenheimer will run along the fences high-fiving people.
Oh, man, and I'll be right there. I'll be right there doing the Schotty sign.
Yeah.
That's what I want the whole crowd doing, that or pumping the Schotty.
After every 3 and out.
One more NFL note from me is a bad bit, or is it? You guys rule.
Okay.
From the Chiefs. We have signed Dustin Colquitt to a one-day contract.
Oh,
he will
my
officially retire.
God.
Who?
The
As a Kansas
kicker
City
or the
Chief.
punter? Or...
Congrats on a well-earned retirement. Yes, the punter, who apparently was with the Chiefs. And
I
now
remember that name, but
He's there a long time.
his dad was an NFL punter as well, which I always found fascinating. Like, could you just make, or is he born with this, certain muscles in his leg and genetically that has passed on to his son?
feel
could you
much more comfortable saying that about Dustin Colquitt than you do like a wide receiver or something. Don't you?
Well, no, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But great athlete.
You
It
just focus
probably has a
him.
great athlete kid, but punter, I'd never considered to be a great athlete.
Only 2 Pro Bowls and last punted in 2021.
He hasn't even been in the league for 3
5
years?
Yeah.
What are we
Going on
doing
5
here?
years.
But he's signing a one-day contract?
This is Morgan Spurlock.
Hey, wait.
Okay.
You guys remember I ever was in the league?
Sebastian Janikowski was with the Raiders for 17 seasons. I'm trying to find if he retired at one day.
Well, was he ever elsewhere?
He played 1 year with the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. Well, I hope he didn't, because he's like, that's stupid. What's the difference?
Oh, my gosh. I forgot. He played for the Seahawks in 2019, the year that the Cowboys beat the Seahawks in the wild card round of the playoffs when Brian Schottenheimer's offense put up like 3 points.
Well.
I was at that game.
He was drafted in the 3rd round.
Janikowski?
Colquitt.
Oh, my gosh.
punter.
Janikowski
No,
was
that
a
was
first-rounder.
Yeah.
They did score 22.
A third-round pick for a punter.
No, that's hilarious. I guess what I'm working towards is I feel like right now Brandon goes to another team for a year. He retires as a Cowboy. No doubt. Like
Brandon?
Yeah.
He's never going anywhere.
It's a good call.
I know that for sure. Elsewhere in sports, a Mavs note. Mark Stein has reported that the Knicks, who fired their head coach, Thibs, are interested in Jason Kidd.
Yeah, I saw this, and
Being their next head coach.
our friend Jameson, who is here today, reminded me by saying, "You think Carlisle wrote another letter of recommendation, like he did when Kidd was hired by the Mavericks?"
However,
No, this guy's great. You should definitely hire him.
according to Mark
It's gonna
Stein,
be smooth.
there is a however. The Mavericks would be expected to decline any request to speak with him because he has 2 years left on his deal. And that is sad. You have the chance here, Tommy boy. Let him go. Get rid of those two. You probably don't have to trade the number 1 pick and Anthony Davis for Luka. Although,
Can you just please stop?
I just want to ask this though:
Okay.
what do the Lakers say to that offer?
Probably yes.
It probably doesn't take both.
I don't know. What
You
do
think the Lakers say yes?
Flag for Luka? Just straight up.
No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
You think they'd take? Do you think they'd do both?
Yeah, of course they would. They would have their future star, and they would still be good, and they could get LeBron's butt buddy back, his impractical Joker friend. But no, I don't know. It would be strange if they moved on from Kidd, but not Harrison. But I also don't really care that much. I saw a note that I wanted to share with you. I feel like for 20 years now we've been doing the "Is Baseball Dying" thing. And they've taken different measures from marketing to how the speed of the game, etc. So when we mentioned just like when they're doing terribly, I did see this note, and it's seen this a few times over the last year, that baseball ratings and attendance are way up. Like the measures they put in place, anecdotally for me, they work. Like I'm watching a lot more baseball now. And partly it's because there's no Mavericks and it's summer and I want to be into sports. But it has a lot to do with how quick the game moves. I mean, it's a very different experience. So they've seen Fox is up 10%. Overseas viewership is up quite a bit, but that doesn't mean much. But platforms like MLB TV and MLB Network showcase game telecasts have been up over 10%. The attendance numbers, like I said, are up.
I wonder if gambling has anything to do with it. Because they've done a good job of the hires and lowers and reworking how it operates. You're not just betting on spreads.
That's a good point, because
scored.
in the Front Office Sports article about it, it's a 2% increase, which is, we'll take a 2% increase every month.
Yeah.
From last year in attendance. This article attributes it to the baseball has done more of what the NBA's done in trying to get stars together in primetime games, so your Judges and Ohtanis. But that's because they don't want to say, hey, this is because of gambling. It probably is. Again, anecdotally.
I've heard people give the opinion that the new way that they're getting metrics from ratings is a bit skewed, and you don't know if you can even trust it.
Okay, but then that's where you get the question of, if it's skewed and you can't trust it, is it skewed and you can't trust it more or less than what you had before? It's the good enemy of perfect thing, because we know that TV ratings based on Nielsen, this is not a shot at the ticket. It makes a lot of sense there. And like you have a Cowboy game and it'll do a huge number. But on the edges, the sample sizes are tiny. And I've had people emailing me, people who seem to know, saying, like, this is going to change. Like, there will be an AI element to your device, your whatever, and there we go. But for now, I don't know. It seems like baseball is having a bigger moment right now than it was 5 years ago. And there's some numbers to back that up.
Did you see? So I thought it was kind of funny. I guess I didn't save it because it was just kind of funny. But there was a Twitter thing going around with, it was like the last 30 days. Scotty Scheffler had 3 wins, and the Colorado Rockies had 1. Or maybe it was even 0. It was something like that.
Yeah.
So that was floating around. Well, at least the Rockies' social media person is having fun with it, because now they have wins since June 2nd. The Rockies just had a sweep.
To go to 10
Rockies fans
10
are
and
having
50?
Sweepstakes. No, I think they're like 13 and 15. Like they've just won 3 in a row.
All right.
And so they put out on their Twitter, Colorado wins since June 2nd. Colorado Rockies 3, Scotty Scheffler 0.
Okay.
So
I like that bit. Man, have you seen all the 1 year ago today snapshots from like May 30th for local sports?
Was it like Luka draining a 3 or something?
It was the Rangers at that point were actually only 3 games out of first.
1 year ago today?
It was May 30th.
That's not that impressive to be.
No, but they were coming off a World Series.
Oh, all right.
And you're like, okay, who knows? They were in first the week before. The Stars were tied 2-2 conference finals. Mavericks had just beaten Minnesota. Cowboys were coming off of 12-5.
Oh, okay. It's that type of.
Yeah.
Like, where was your
Yeah.
sports feelings?
Right now,
You were like on top of
53
the
weeks
world.
ago, you're like, oh, my God, we have a team in the finals, a team in the conference finals, a team that, bad luck in the playoffs, that just went 12-5.
This is like the greatest
and
sports
a team
city
that
to
just
live
won
in
the
in
World
America.
Series. And
Yeah.
right now, the Rangers have like the worst offense in the modern era. Their coach basically only knows how to take you like wakeboarding in Frisco. I think the Stars are probably firing their coach. And the Mavs are the Mavs.
I think the Stars won't fire their coach because I don't think our original Tommy Boy,
Gallardi,
Gallardi, wants to pay a guy not to coach.
it's always a factor.
I do think they are tight with that. But, I'm talking out of my ass there. I don't really know at all. But, Jim Nill also doesn't really respond to public this or that. It feels like Jim Nill does what Jim Nill feels is right.
I didn't think there was any chance they'd move on from DeBoer until he started making really kind of out-of-pocket comments about his goalie.
And it seems like there's some discourse internally.
Yeah.
Just not just the pulling of Ottinger, but just how decisions were made during the Western Conference Final.
There were some weird ones.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that.
You bet
Yeah.
we will.
Let's do some viewer mail brought to us by Fairlease. Fairlease.org. That is, I was just talking to Travis from Community Mechanical the other day. Mm-hmm. They've leased a vehicle for their fleet. They're leasing another vehicle right now. In fact, Fairlease is working with them to buy out their D&M lease.
Wow.
And
Shots
Travis
fired.
Well, Travis says the Fairlease deal is so good that buying it out would be, really beneficial to him in the long run. And then he was also saying that if you yourself out there own a business or know someone like that, they have really great rates for the business leases. I don't know. He had a word for it, the business lease. But if you have a company and you need a couple of trucks or something, or if you need 100, Fairlease is the way to go.
Yeah, I think the word is just fair.
Okay.
It's going to be fair. Fairlease.org. Also, Texan. They are Texans Helping Texans. They are affiliated with the Credit Union of Texas. They, like Dan said, they can help you with business, personal. They'll deliver it right to your doorstep. You can do all this online by going to fairlease.org. Click Request a Quote, then select the Dumb Zone on the How Did You Hear About Us page. It is fairlease.org.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute, Uncle.
We got some bangers today.
Now, you don't have to only email me, but I did get an email from someone who says, I only know the Bracket Dan email address, but I want to send this to Blake. Are our emails not published anywhere? What's your deal, Blake?
They're in our YouTube bio. They're on Patreon. I guess because they're not every single place on the internet that people can't find them.
He is messy. He didn't shave. He
Is
thought
he-
he was doing audio today.
Is he wearing sweatpants?
No, these are like action pants.
Oh, those are more action-y. Okay. You do,
I was not expecting video.
When we go to Fox, he looks a little sexier.
Dapper.
Yeah. Don't forget we're on TV tomorrow, my boy.
Just you two will be on TV.
You're not on?
No, I don't.
It's a little,
I
a little
don't
crowded
think so,
with
pal.
three people.
No, I don't
Has
think
he been
so.
invited?
It's the Dumb Zone
Of
with Dan and
course
Jake.
he's been invited. He's doing a Blake
No,
bit here.
it's the table's too small.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, that one, David wanted me to send this to Blake, an anchor word, anchor phrase.
Okay. I feel like Jake
Connotation.
started this. Go ahead.
Connotation.
Boy, nobody's doing positive connotation.
Negative connotation.
That's really good.
That is a good point. I'm sure I've heard it, but not often.
Natty directs something at Jake,
Bring it.
but he addresses me as HUIC, head unk in charge.
You are unk, just like Dak.
He didn't like your show on Tuesday. He didn't like your performance. He said, I have no issues with Jake's no fish sandwich stance, but let's not act like he's never had a breaded chicken sandwich.
Yeah, Tim was asking me about that this morning, and I don't get a condiment on it. I dip the condiment, right? So I lay out like a flight of 6 sauces.
Yep.
But I don't have them serve me the sandwich with sauce on it, ever. See what I'm saying? So it is. I do the same thing, yes.
Says, ain't no way Jake was bricked up watching that scene on How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, I heard that from a couple people. Felt really horny. Felt bad about it.
Like,
but
is it only me?
Yeah, no, it was big L for me.
He says, Jake, this is also Jake.
Great.
But he's going to attack someone else on the show, too. Throwing stars are Japanese, not Chinese.
Okay, dude.
am very confused by that. I would have always thought it's called a Chinese throwing star. No?
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Okay. He says, when y'all go 2 versus 1 against Blake, his indifference is something to marvel. And regarding Henry's birthday, intern Henry, who gave us, who did he say was with Paige?
Beckers?
Beckers.
Jalen Suggs.
He says, Suggs is with Haley Van Lith. Wrong white girl. That's from Natty.
That's right.
Okay. Well, you should have known that. You're all about the Haley. You're all. This is not even a joke.
Lith?
He is always talking about Haley Van Lith.
And I only have one more, so if you want to grab some
I got one from Joel. He is a Brit DF. And he took issue, but we were telling the story. Somebody emailed and asked me to tell the story of the big jerk face Brit I met in Spain who was licking an ice cream. I can't remember if I put that part in the story, but it's true. It's something extremely condescending about saying, excuse me while you lick an ice cream. I basically was effed from the jump in that interaction. But he's like, excuse me, did you come all this way to eat McDonald's? And I was like, fuck you up, man. So Joel says, regarding your story about the Brit who insulted you in Spain, I'm a Brit and an American. This is something that annoys me. He basically says the reason is the average Brit and European thinks they're more worldly because they can drive a couple hours or go on a 2-hour flight and they're in 20 different countries. So they think that. He says they don't consider if you live in the U.S., similar flight won't even take you out of your state in some cases. He says the average Brit goes to Spain for their vacation, but richer Brits go to the Alps for skiing, which is hardly culture. And he's saying, let's not act like all Brits are just traveling because they want to see how the world was created and, like, you're going to go to the McDonald's too, you a-hole.
Just when you have that accent, though, it implies that you have some culture.
It does, and I think they know that.
That's why they throw them on documentaries and stuff.
That, yeah.
That's the only reason those people still are employed.
He says every country has their clowns. I'm sorry you met one from my homeland.
Okay.
Good dude.
Is he?
I want to do, let's see. Oh, there's apparently a documentary about that King George guy from the Ren Fair. And it's also apparently not the same as Scarborough Fair, which is a Ren Fair. But the guy who had run Texas Renaissance Fair passed away at 87. And when I say, can you do passed away for Suey? It doesn't feel like it.
He's no longer living. We are getting woke on talking about somebody dying.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't hear a lot of, oh, did you hear who croaked?
Yeah.
Anymore.
It used to be a little more straightforward. Now you got to figure out. What did you say? Wait.
Right.
Oh.
So a few people pointed out.
He's gone to rest. Really?
So the carnival man
bad.
went to rest at his own hand, but there's a documentary on HBO, a 3-part series about his battle to keep power, and it looks really interesting. We did a news story the other day involving, I believe, an 18 or 19-year-old kid who had done something really dumb, and I was saying there should be a legal status for males, maybe females, I don't know, but males between like 18 and 24 that's in between juvenile and adult, because your brain is nowhere close to fully developed at 18 years old from your risk assessment, right? We all know this. So rather than just making it a cutoff of it's A to B, at that middle zone where you have a lot of freedom, but not a fully developed brain, we should treat that differently. This is my campaign.
Okay.
And Michael points out to me that in the UK, they have a recorded manner of death that is death by misadventure. So that's like...
Does that mean bungee jumping or?
Yeah. Yeah, so...
just you're high T, you think you can do it all.
Right.
You'll never die, and then...
Yeah, and I would imagine this applies, too, if you try that and you know, it's just, if you live, like, and they'll record it as, it's not a suicide, but they do make some distinction of, I guess, of...
It's also saying it's kind of your fault.
It's saying it's kind of your fault.
But it's not a suicide.
Yeah.
Like you were doing something that
could kill you.
Could kill you. You're scaling the mountain without the free climbing guy.
A drug overdose is ruled this.
Okay.
So, something to look into.
Len Bias died from a heart attack.
From
induced
cocaine.
by cocaine. Yes.
Yeah.
But it was a heart attack, the official cause of death.
So we were talking the other day about the coyote issue. There was another one up in Frisco. It seems like every week you get the coyote or a baby getting his face eaten. Michael just read a book called Coyote America about coyotes.
Okay.
Why?
I don't plan to read it. He says he highly recommends it, but he's guilty as charged with the coyote facts and why humans will not eventually just kill them off. He says humans have been crucial to coyote diaspora. How do you say that word? I've always said diaspora. Diaspora?
Nobody knows.
Humans are crucial to the coyotes. They eat our junk and our pets. The reason that damn near all of North Carolina is coyote country now is because they've spread alongside us. But here's the more interesting one. The females have a sense to how many new coyotes can handle this ecosystem, or I guess how many the ecosystem can handle coyotes. And they will birth an appropriate number of pups for that landscape. And when it gets crowded, they stop having babies.
Interesting. So, like, their body knows, kind of like...
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, well, many of us know, like, you're not home yet, don't go to the bathroom in your pants, but once you get inside your house, you're like, you just can't stop.
Yeah, something like that. Because this guy says scientists don't know how they do this. And then he emailed me back, and his question was just, what if it's piss? Meaning they can smell the piss. Like, that actually makes sense, that female coyotes would be able to smell female coyotes and know this place is full. And he says, as you being the guy who woke me up to the amount of bug piss everywhere, I thought this may hold some sway with you. And I that was one of my contributions to science, just bug piss everywhere. Think about it. Walk around in your yard with your sandals off.
I did that the other day because I thought about getting back into grounding.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Grounding
good?
update.
I think I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a nice day out. Thought let's go ahead and walk in the backyard, and that's when I reached back out to remember our grounding friends.
Oh yeah,
Daniel and Lana, to see what kind of grounding shoes he got, because I think I'm gonna buy them at least for the house, the neighborhood. Like,
yeah.
All right, let's just walk around this area with my grounding shoes, because I don't like to walk in what you term bug piss.
But think about it.
Yeah, it's
secretions.
Well, then think about your dog who rolls in that yard
and then comes and lays on
your bed, your
does
pillow.
not lay on my bed.
You don't
does
let
not
the
lay
dog
on
up?
My pillow. Don't even really let the dog on the couch.
You're that guy, huh?
Yeah,
well, your
the
dog is giant.
Huge.
Yeah. Plus, it's got pus leaking out of it.
That was a long time ago.
It
wasn't a leak.
People don't forget.
And my last one is from Hammer. So Soroy was with us last week, and he brought up the absurdity that with all this modern technology, not only can we not fix a horse's bones, but we still just have dangling colored lights to tell us when it's our turn to drive the car. So Hammer says, got me thinking about what a beating waiting in lines is. I propose a solution for any sort of bar or amusement park. etc. For example, Katy Trail Ice House. So when you don't have to wait, you get a good table. On a nice day, it's the best place to hang out in Dallas. But when the weather's nice, everyone knows if you're not on site by 11:30, you got an hour or more wait. His solution: installing a CCTV or live feed outside of these like heavily trafficked locations and bars, and you just go to Katy Trail's website and start to get a feel for what's the line like right now. You don't want to call. You ever call a place like that? You see how pissed off they get? What's the wait for 4? They're like, death. But if there was a camera outside and you're like, oh, how crowded is it up there right now? You could just see.
Kind
now,
of
it's
like
not fail-safe by the time you get there you go.
For
and, you know, I think people
pedestrians.
have tried this, like Squarespace. Not Squarespace, but something.
There have been ideas.
Link up. But just to have it have it right there, like, you know, when you go to Google Maps, even have it. Just fire up the camera. What's going on now?
Okay, I like it. Talking about that.
Waiting in lines.
Waiting in lines. That feels like a gummy thought. So let's make that brought to us by Early Bird CBD. Got an email too. I guess did you delete it, Blake, from the show email account where a guy I guess he clicked on your link. You put a link in the show notes the other day about how to protest some current laws or that could be enforced here in Texas as far as CBD is concerned, or excuse me, as far as THC is concerned. But he said he wanted to write a letter and actually send the letter. And where could he send that letter? So do we have that information? And could we share that with people? That is how I will start by telling you that Early Bird CBD is our CBD. It's got THC in it, bro. It's great.
If you send us the letter, we will send it to where it needs to go. So is there a website you want to give for that?
Well, if you want to email it to us, thedumbzone@gmail.com. I've already flipped one to Eric.
There you go.
Okay.
I've got 2, not necessarily gummy thoughts, but
kind of say that while it is still okay to buy.
Give their website and stuff.
Dumbzone.
Before you start
Early Bird CBD.
Jumping right in here with your emails.
Use the code DUMBZONE unless you've already used the code DUMBZONE. Then use DZ20 and you'll get 20% off at earlybirdcbd.com. And listen, it works. There's a reason it's in the news, folks.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Blake.
During last week's handoff on Friday. What?
He just doesn't understand advertising at all.
Could you tell my story?
Well, I haven't sensed an opportunity to work in. What do you want me to do?
Your exorbitant salary is paid for by these people.
And thank you to Early Bird CBD.
Promo code DZ20.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
We're all on the edge of our seat to hear what you have. Just kidding. Come on.
During the handoff last Friday, somebody wrote in that it's impossible to just get a simple recipe.
Yeah.
Every page either has like 70 hits that you have to do, or they tell you their life story. Apparently, Brett tells us that there is a website called justtherecipe.com where you add your URL in afterwards, and it will just take the, I guess, just the text.
Okay, so there's a guy, I think he works on a PC, so it's all Microsoft, I think. But there's a guy on Twitter, TikTok, whatever, and it'll be like, thing you didn't know, such and such, number 450. And it's all stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I probably remember one of them out of every 100 I see. But they do seem helpful. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that. But then what do you do after that? I go, now I can just look at it like this?
Well, now you have what you went to go get. It's just a simple recipe for what you wanted. And then the last thing, I received several emails about this, but we'll credit Whit along with JR and Matt. I noticed that there were a ton of Cardinals fans at the Rangers game I was at on Saturday, and I didn't know if it was the section I was in, but I thought I had heard something about a reasoning why there were a lot of Cardinals fans. And he writes in that
Catholics
for I don't know, a long time of our grandparents' childhood, the Cardinals were the most southeastern team in the United States, and their flagship station KMOX would reach a vast majority of the Southwest. I said Southeast, I meant Southwest.
Yeah, about the
And so the Cardinals and the Kansas City Athletics were the most Midwestern teams.
So this is before the Dodgers.
And so
okay.
he did say that, and because at the time they had Stan Musial and they were a way better team than the Kansas City Athletics, Jake is right that our generation had the Cubs and the Braves to watch in the early afternoons, but our grandparents' generation listened to the Cardinals on the radio.
Interesting.
And that's why there's a big amount of Cardinals fans here.
I've heard that about the Browns, too. Like the Browns were pretty much America's team before the Cowboys existed. Like Reiner would say, that's what the olds would all – the only game they would get was the Browns.
Yeah.
And now with Shador.
And now they got Shador. It all
America's
comes full
team.
circle.
Comes full circle.
And I got one that's bad beat adjacent. It's not a bad beat. Mark writes, Uncle Beef Passage. My wife and I recently had our first child last week. My parents came over to give us an afternoon to sleep and relax. Our baby just went down for a nap, so we left the video baby monitor on the coffee table in front of my parents. We went to our bedroom. Couldn't fall asleep right away, so I said, hey. Asked my wife if she wants to fool around. Our bedroom's on the other side of the house. We weren't worried about the noise. My wife's on top of me.
Oh,
She's
no.
dirty talking.
Oh, no.
Maybe even moosing me. All of a sudden, she dove off me like she was hit by a sniper bullet. From under the covers, she pointed at the camera on the wall. Although our son was napping in the nursery, he still slept in our room overnight. Directly above the crib and pointed directly at our bed was the second camera for the baby monitor. We keep the video monitor in split screen mode so you can see both cameras at the same time. It was basically broadcasting amateur porn to my parents.
God.
Later, when I went downstairs, the monitor had been turned face down on the coffee table.
No. This disapproval.
And it looks like my parents couldn't figure out how to turn off the audio.
Oh, no.
My wife is mortified, still won't show her face in front of my
They
parents.
know what
Mark
your
from
wife
Tulsa.
calls you when you jizz. That is absolutely brutal. That is very tough. But you know what, though? To Dan's kink, that's why you're doing it.
Right, and I'll bet those same parents have said, you working on baby number 2? Like,
yeah, right.
You are asking me basically, am I?
Listen, if you don't want to see under the hood,
You don't want to see how the
don't
sausage
ask how
is
this
made.
thing runs.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's really tough. I think it would be really hard. Hypothetical. Either your 20-something, like the dude's age daughter is staying there, or your mom. Which one's more scarring? If all of a sudden you hear the monitor, you're out in the living room watching that Scott
Now,
Van
wait a
Pelt,
second.
and they're staying at your house. Your mom lives with you, but like you have a baby room.
It's who sees me.
You see them.
So I see either my mom doing it.
Yep.
Or
a daughter.
Mom. I don't want to see daughter.
Dude, I mean, listen.
I don't want to see mom either, but if I have to see something fleetingly and then put the monitor down.
Because that's all it's going to be. It's not like these people sat down and watched this. They heard it.
We don't know.
They probably saw a few seconds, heard it, were grossed out and freaked out. Do you go, Mom? Yeah, I guess you do go, Mom.
You absolutely don't want to see your.
No,
I've never seen my mom as a sweet little angel baby in a play or a. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you already kind of know. You're like, yeah, wow.
Yeah, like mom's a mess.
Mom, give it a little more effort. I know you got it in you.
Yeah. Anyway,
do your trick.
All right, so let's take a short break here.
The Dumb Zone.
The Dumb Zone, generic summer event presented by Qualish Roofing.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Yes, indeed. So we're at Matt Grimm's house, our DZ RV MVP. I think it's his birthday or something.
I feel like he's a guy who kind of has a birthday every day. You know what I'm saying?
He's invited a bunch of people here, too. Caitlin, Jameson, 690 Scene. A bunch of other sausage as well. He has just the one lady is here, his wife.
Yeah, well,
I don't think she allows him to
I think
talk to other ladies.
But despite being in love with other ladies, Caitlin's still a woman.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Still a whole ass woman. Right there.
I just consider her a friend where you consider her some kind of an object.
No, I
for
just
you,
think I can
to
be
stare
friends
at.
with women.
Oh, that's weird.
Speaking of.
The Dumb Zone Generic Summer Event, though, is presented by Qualis Roofing. Let's give some loves to our supporting sponsors like Community Mechanical, Texas Trident, our new sponsor, Garage Door Company, fairlease.org, and Silverback Construction. They'll all be out there this Saturday. Will you?
Yes.
Oh, I was kind of asking it in general type thing.
I know, but you looked at me, and then it would have been weird.
Okay. I don't want to get weird.
Do you know who else will be there?
Who?
Well, Lone Star Beer will be there. I was talking before about how Jerry said they were ordering more Lone Star Beer. He told Jake a number. Jake said double it. He said okay. So there'll be plenty of Lone Star Beer on hand.
I know my people.
LoneStarBeer.com. What's the code? Because you can get 21% off merch.
It is DumbZone21. I'll be wearing my Lone Star shirt out there because we filmed a video. So for continuity, I have to wear it.
Yeah, well, I would wear my Lone Star hat anyway.
But I did get 21% off by using DumbZone21 at their website.
Lone Star Beer, 140 years. This is old copy because they gave us this last year. 140 years of brewing in Texas. Let's make it 141. I can do that math very quickly. Right? Last year to this year.
Yep.
The National Beer of Texas. And don't forget that when you go to Globe Life Field for Rangers games this season, go to Section 101 for the National Beer of Texas Baseball. Lone Star Beer.
You're going to need it.
Yeah, man. Woo! Anyway, don't forget Lone Star Light as well. Authentically Texan. It's the blue can. Blake's more of a red can guy.
Add in section 126 because I can confirm that being there last Saturday.
Whoa!
Oh, really?
Yep.
You don't have to just go to 101?
I think it's 101, 126, and there's one in the 300s that's escaping me
Ooh,
right
a scavenger hunt.
So, yeah.
All right, so right now, we'd like to follow up with Amy. If you remember a couple weeks ago, we had Amy as a sit-in in the den.
Cougar Amy.
Some would call her Cougar Amy. Some might call her Horny Amy. If you remember listening to her, she gave us some gifts that we could give to our wives or side pieces. They were vibrators, basically.
They were.
And it wasn't like it was called a massager, and then your wife just uses it as a Like it was labeled.
Not a shower head.
This guy's a vibrator.
Yeah.
It's for down there for making things good. So Amy joins us now. Do we have Amy?
We do.
Amy?
Yes.
Do you read me?
Yes.
Hi, Amy.
Hello. Am I going to be forever known as Vibrator Amy?
Well, he gave you an option.
I think you should.
Horny Amy. I went with Cougar. Lovely Amy. Or Vibrator Amy. I mean, I don't know. Dildo Amy?
So anyway, when you joined us previously, you had indicated that you were without serious commitment currently, right?
Correct.
And that you would not be opposed to if somebody reached out and wanted to go on a date, you'd be into that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, recently, did you say this part? How recently divorced? A couple years?
2.5 years.
After a long marriage.
Yeah, 30-plus years.
But you've already, I guess, what is it, metaphorically? Just you've broken that cherry again. Like you've already had some relations outside. Like it was really weird. And
you're through that part.
Yeah, so it's not like.
Right.
I don't know if anybody wants to jump on the first ride after.
Yeah, no, you're not
well,
getting.
Well, somebody did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, listen. Somebody did. Somebody has to go to AA baseball games too. But that's not what we're looking at here. You're through that.
Yes.
But Amy's good looking. She's ready to party.
Indeed.
She's DTF, as they say. and or we know it's on the table. You know, if you go out on a date with Monica Lewinsky, there's an implication here. We're waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, we know you'll do it, and we know that Amy, in fact, is not a born again virgin or anything. She's ready to roll. So no messing around time, man. Right? Life is short
clock
here.
is ticking.
Life is
That's
short.
right.
We're not running the ball in the fourth quarter.
So
Life is short.
Are you going to the DZ GSEQ this weekend?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. So the Dumb Zone generic summer event will feature Amy. So we got a hold of a guy. We got an email from a guy named Will, who indicated an interest in going out on a date with Amy. And joining us now is Will. Let's say hello to Will.
Hey, Will, come on down.
How we doing?
Hi, Will.
Hello.
Will, you are interested. You heard the episode with Amy on it?
Correct, yes.
You heard her vibe. You heard what she's got going on. And this, to you said, this sounds like something I'd like to be on board with.
I like a taste.
Yes, for sure. Yes. She sounded cool, so I said if she wants to go on a date, I'm down,
She's very, very cool, very, very kind soul, very attractive, if people still say that sort of thing. Will, what's your history? You divorced, I hope, at least?
Yeah, I'm divorced. Okay. I'm divorced like 10 years ago, so I've been single since then, obviously. I'm 49, I'll be 50 in a few months. I definitely do date, and I'd like to go out with Amy if that's a thing.
Have you had sex with another lady since your divorce?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, just don't want Amy to be shy about this at all.
Now, we're all cards on the table here, Will. How old have you gone?
Amy doesn't feel like that she's that old.
She's not old, but
55, 54, I guess.
Okay.
Higher or lower, Amy?
Oh, I'm higher. I told you on the
told us
video
that
how
was the-
old I was, so
Oh, what'd you say?
64.
Okay.
So Will's kind of young. Or maybe I'm kind of old
Could
for
kind
Will.
of show this guy the ropes, though,
Maybe so, yeah.
So you heard that, which I didn't, apparently.
Yeah.
But you heard the age, and this is fine with you, Will. You're like, yes, I'm on board with this.
Yeah, for sure. Why not? Yeah.
This crazy
I'm not
bitch.
scared.
I was just reading what was in his mind. This is not in my mind.
Yes.
Of course.
Can you give us? We've already said Amy, nice. She's nice looking. She's very nice looking. You'll be surprised that when you see her, she's 64. Wow, they're making 64-year-olds different these days. So
like Chris Berman.
Exactly like Chris Berman. Yes, that's exactly right.
What kind of dimensions are we working with for you, Will? Height, weight? Can you give us that?
Girth.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", I weigh about 220, I believe.
Oh, that's sturdy as fuck, bro.
Yeah, this guy's.
Yeah, that's a rock. I'd climb up there.
That's it. This is this exciting to you, Amy? Just hearing that, even?
Just the fact that he's a DZer is good to me.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's the personality that
How's
matters.
your head of hair?
Pretty full. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to not have any hair loss, so I'm good.
Beard guy?
Yes, definitely. I got a mustache, but every now and then I have a beard, but yeah.
So you go unironic mustache.
That irony's
I do.
dead.
I do.
There's no irony. What did we ask what line of work you're in, Will?
Yeah, that's not a problem. I am a quality assurance tech for a large convenience store company.
Okay.
So I do a lot of preventative maintenance type work,
PM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very familiar with PM. All right. Well, Amy, does this sound? Could we keep you guys apart, and you will not see each other visually until we bring you both up on stage at the DZGSE?
Sure, I'm down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
Okay. This is a meet cute.
This is
a meet cute.
Dude, yeah, this is going to be great. We're like
a
few months away from Will sitting over in the corner during an interview with Amy, and Will's like, "We're not talking about that."
Yeah, who knows? I mean, who knows where this leads?
You go through me if you want to get to Amy.
All right, well, we will see you both. Well, I guess I never even asked Will. I was being awful presumptuous there.
Yeah, but
I'm just assuming you'll go to the event.
Well, if he wants to get laid on Saturday night, he'll show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think, I think I'm free. I think I'm free that
All right,
night.
I don't know if
so
she
I'm gonna
works
show up.
that quick, but who knows? I don't know.
2025, man.
Okay. I'm an
I'll be there.
old-fashioned
I'll be
guy.
there.
I want to do a little courting. I'd like to get
I
to
could-
know her a little bit first, but
Yeah. I'll get to know each other. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. This has been a lot of fun.
We'll see y'all Saturday.
All right. Looking
right.
forward to
See you
it.
there.
Bye.
See you there.
all right.
Bye.
There they go.
Now, what I want to know is, how is it possible that our gallery here has like a pretty strong negative reaction to the concept of somebody being in quality assurance for a large convenience store chain? It was like somebody brought up the Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone's like, "No, fuck that, boo."
That did
I
get
was like,
booed.
"What is happening?"
I
Why-
don't know.
It's really weird.
I don't know. I do know this, that I made a play last night.
Ooh, so did I.
On our Underdog Fantasy site. Let's see. I put it in there so you could take a look at it. It is, I made a pick. So what you do is you take 2 different players at least, or you can go 5 players, you can go 10 players, whatever, but you kind of pick higher or lower on a variety of different stats. You can pick the stat. I picked points for Shea versus Tyrese Halliburton tonight. Shea, 33.5 points. I went lower because I'm trying to root against him.
Good.
And
that's always smart.
Tyrese Halliburton, 17.5 points. I went higher. So keep that in mind when you're watching this game. If your good friend Dan here is a victor tonight or not.
Yeah, and I'm doing this for MLB. The Rangers are bound to get a hit at some point. So I've been taking the the highers on their hit. And it's fun. I actually love doing underdog with the Rangers games. Keeps you into it late in the game. Like, I don't know, maybe Jake Berger can save me here. Underdog Fantasy. It's a great place for these sorts of games, so go check it out today. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code DUMBZONE. Unlock that special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code DUMBZONE. Fast talk. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. And that's all just because apparently it's illegal to have Ernest read it. Up my ass. Let's see here, Dan. A news story just came across the news desk, and that is the arrest of former Dallas Cowboy
Herschel Walker.
No.
Who?
Think
Tony Romo.
more you would expect this.
Tony Dorsett.
And it's someone
Joseph
who played
Randall.
in the last 10 years. You're thinking in the right direction.
Sam Hurd.
Running
No,
back.
Sam Hurd.
He's dead.
Futon full of machine guns.
Greg Hardy.
Was arrested in Richardson. This
He
happened.
stuck around town. Cool.
This happened, I think, yesterday. Assault of causing bodily injury to a family member.
Was it embezzling
mental injury?
Fraud?
No, it wasn't
Bodily injury.
No, yeah, he wasn't just kind of nagging him a little bit.
It kind of sounds like
kind of razzing him.
the NHL, though. What are we, upper body?
Yeah.
We're not going to be specific.
This is like a very new story, so I don't have much on it. But, there's a funny thing where he does MMA, and when you're a guy like that a lot of people don't like, I've seen this undercurrent of MMA people who they just really like watching him get his face beat in, and he gets beat up a lot. Same thing with I think there's a fighter who's been maybe a little out there with the anti-Semitism. And, like, he was getting his face pounded the other day by some guy who was just yelling Free Palestine at him. It's very tough to take political stances when you're, like, in the combat game, you know? Like, real
Because
hard. You're going to have to – that's
Yeah.
not fun. But Hardy, yeah, that was a crazy one, man. As we ride the roller coaster of where are we on the sign bad guys. Cowboys
1 year
wage.
deal.
Yeah. Balled out.
Did he play well here?
Yes.
And then he never played again, right?
Yeah.
Or did he go somewhere for just a bit?
Man, I don't think so. Had an altercation in practice while he was here and had to call the cops. Was arrested in Richardson for possession of controlled substance in 2016. Yeah. Big weekend. If you're looking to get yourself a little paid poon, as due to a court ruling, the Dallas Police Department has had to issue a statement says it is temporarily pausing enforcement of the city's prostitution ordinance.
They announced that?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So it is.
Or is this just a red herring?
So it's not necessarily a red herring, but the statement says the department remains committed to enforcing all laws. This ruling does not restrict officers from other methods of investigating and enforcing prostitution. So what you're talking about here is some of the stuff that we've mentioned of, like, how is that not entrapment?
Okay.
Some of the more they go get you, they're saying that might actually be unconstitutional per a Texas court. But I do wonder what compels them to announce that that's off the table. Like,
maybe because this court whacked their pee-pee and said, you got to...
Yeah, that this was illegal, and if you don't want us to keep following up about it, let people know you're not... That makes sense.
Yeah.
We talked the other day about the death of John Redcorn, or the man who voiced John Redcorn from King of the Hill, Jonathan Joss. We knew that it was a shooting in San Antonio. What I did not know is that Jonathan Joss, a.k.a. John Redcorn, had a husband, and that they lived in an area where they were being harassed constantly over their life choices. And John Redcorn's husband posted on social media and spoke to local media about it, saying, like, they definitely targeted us because they were gay. They had a home that they had moved out of because the harassment had gotten so bad, and they were going back to try to clean up the home and found, like, their dog's skull. Classic hate crime comedy hijinks, you know?
Yeah.
So,
cutting off a dog's head. So I thought you were going to come out with, like, oh, this guy was really bad, or... Doesn't the internet do that?
Which one's worse? If it comes out and they're like, oh, because yesterday it was like, oh, it was a misunderstanding and this guy got shot. Now it's like, well, actually he was a death by hate crime, but that still seems better to me than hear his old tweets.
Should a hate crime kind of like the different officiating in the first quarter than the fourth? Like, isn't the thing is the thing?
Yeah, I mean, I know that we've had this conversation.
All lives
before
matter type thing, right?
But it depends on your opinion on this, and it's a pretty serious topic. But it's like, do you put any weight or value in law enforcement in the idea that some crimes are more geared towards causing more crimes? Like, if I go kill Matt, there's no expectation on my end that Clayton will kill someone else because of that. But if you're doing crimes to try to intimidate people and make other people besides the person you're killing scared, then that has an effect beyond just that person. It, in that theory, is not the same, right? You asked me. What'd you think of,
I'm thinking. Did you expect me to?
No. You kind of looked bored.
Within 4 seconds?
You're like,
No.
Oh, God. Shut up.
Nerd.
Along those same lines.
I was just saying it. I didn't want to hear anything about it.
Along those same lines, Texas and the Texas legislation has made sure that if you are a broke pori, that none of your free money can go to treats. No more treats for you.
What kind of treats?
Sodas and candy
Huh.
of certain types will be banned. This is kind of like what we were talking about with Blake's science project, Hobo, is the best way to bring people out of poverty. It's my opinion, but I would say that it's supported by fact, is to just give them money. But it really pisses people off when you give someone money and you watch what they do with it. So you're like, no, you can't buy Snickers. Like, we need you to buy ground beef. So then they just end up, hey, we're gonna scale it back, make it harder to get the money. I don't know. A banned sweetened drink is defined as a non-alcoholic beverage made with water that contains 5 grams or more of added sugar. So they're making you drink
5?
like Waterloo.
Well, I'm saying you can't even have juice.
So
It's
alcohol's
probably
on the table,
under
though?
5.
No, it says non-alcohol.
So you can get a Coke Zero.
Made with water, though, so I don't know. I mean, obviously there's Coke Zero's made with water, but I don't know like what.
Aren't
level
all
of
drinks made with water?
5 grams or more of added sugar, or any amount of artificial sweeteners.
You can't even have that?
No.
Well, okay, so you're just
Hey,
drinking straight water.
did you like things a little sweeter? Is that what you're telling me? You like them a little sweeter?
Yeah.
You do?
I like a little
Quit
treat.
being so fucking poor.
Get your own money to buy your soda. Yeah, okay.
No, it's.
I mean, it's interesting. They're worried about their health.
Yeah, but
That's great.
It's not that. It's that they make it. You
wonder
make
if-
it harder to get the money. Some people are not. It's harder to get healthy food. You know,
Yeah.
your food desert concept or whatever. And also, some people are just dummies, and you're gonna have to give them money too to make the whole thing work.
And where I've come around on Angelo, I think hobo you called him, my good friend.
Hobo feels bespoke, artisan, if you will.
Old timey.
Huh? Trains, yeah, Bendel.
I've tried to rationalize.
He was
that
on a train.
in a
There you go.
life where he doesn't work, probably doesn't have very many friends.
A lot of assumptions.
Some that he's told me.
Then less of an assumption.
Then I've started thinking that the bright part of his day is probably drinking Sprite from McDonald's, or getting chicken nuggets with honey mustard. And so
I feel that.
To some degree I do too,
Big
which
time.
is why I'm really trying to not judge that he got 3 Republicans at Torchy's, because that might have been the best part of his whole day or week. And so yeah, stripping people of their Pepsi or their Cherry Coke seems.
But you
weird.
are judging that. You're trying not to.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I just want him to get more value.
You want him to get more value.
So it's not that you're mad what he's eating. Okay.
His is different than this. What this is in the case of welfare in Texas is some people don't have like the ability to cook ground beef. They don't have the ability to cook rice, or they don't have electricity. It's not like Blake's asking this guy to eat at home, like the state is.
No, I just want him
Blake's
to be
saying,
able to
"Let's
eat
just be
every day.
smart." Like,
I
this
want
is
you to have a meal every day, bud.
Right, and there's options where you could do that. You know, he's at $3.50 a day. You could get that done, or you could just. Why don't he should intermittently fast 2 days a week and clear out his gut biome.
Would he do like my morning routine video?
It's so bad.
Give him $100 to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would.
Well, what do you want him to do? Like, he wakes up, like.
I don't know. I thought we liked those morning routine videos.
We do. It's just.
Let's see what his is.
I think he has a motel room, so he's up in the motel room, splashes some water on his face.
How can he afford a motel room?
Whatever government help he gets, I think can pay for a motel. Yeah, I think he has a motel room and a storage unit.
And sometimes the
This
motels.
guy's living high on the hog.
Yeah, I know.
on my back.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Let's see.
If I had a
It doesn't sound half
hotel
bad.
room and a storage unit, that's all you need.
You know what? Let's actually just. Okay, so.
And a Venmo gift card for $25 a week.
What, if anything, is the plan?
I don't know, man.
For what?
For Angelo, for this project, like usually you need to have some sort of a, what does Dan say, the business term of like figure out what a divorce looks like before you enter into the relationship. You need to get a handle on this right now. Figure
it's
it out.
too late.
But he's only
He's in it. You hand
I know,
him.
but
If you did the Jake move, which you ridiculed at the time of handing him $50, it'd be over. And he would have felt great. He'd
more
have
help
such a
than
great
that.
memory of you. This is going to end poorly because you're going to have to cut him off.
Yeah.
Because we're cutting you off, pal.
All right, there's your news.
Oh,
if this is how he's going to spend his money.
Oh, what am I doing here?
Would it kill him to come out Saturday?
The dumbs.
I'd have to go get him.
The Dumb Zone News. Like.
That'd be a funny
and
thing to add on to Blake's day.
Go get him. He's already changed phone numbers again. He's on phone number 3.
Yeah. I mean, he immediately lets you know that, or the Venmo?
Me.
Okay.
Today in history will be brought to us by Factor Meals.
Ooh.
Actually,
Factor.
Drop Beth had sent us a note a while back.
Yeah, she experienced something very similar to what I did, which was a little weight loss.
Yeah, she said her kids have dropped some weight, and it's because she doesn't have time to cook. So she started getting Factor meals, and they're great. The kids love them. And so even just for like the lunch every day,
yeah,
the meals are done. They're prepped. You don't have to spend all your time all weekend prepping the meals for the week. There you go.
Yeah.
Factor Meals is there for you.
Yeah, and the good thing, to know that Beth has cancer, and she was still able to take advantage of this. That's how easy it is, even in her feeble state. So you will be fine. So check them out at factormeals.com.
Unless you have something worse. Sorry about that, folks. If you do.
Yes. But the good news is that right now you can go to factormeals.com/dumbzone50 off.
Unless you can't move.
Dumbzone
then you can't do
50
it.
off.
Tell your
Hopefully-
handler to do that for you.
It's easy. He can do it too.
Yeah.
It's factormeals.com.
Tell your at-home nurse. Type this in. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
Type it in.
What?
Factormeals.com/dumbzone50 off. Use promo code dumbzone50 off. That'll get you 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. I'm a Factor customer. Big time. If you hate vegetables, Factor can make you like them. You have the palate of a 4-year-old.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in
Also, I'm sorry that you're bedridden and
You have a handler. I hope your nurse is hot.
There's no way.
You don't think any of those nurses are hot?
No, I
It's
kind
just
of
the
imagine
movies
that it's
that I
like
see?
flight attendants, where, when we fly with the stars, you're like, holy shit, they still make super hot flight
if
attendants.
Tom Hicks is bedridden right now
then
in
he's
his
got,
mansion,
yes, then
there's
he's got
hot
a
nurses.
lady who looks like Sydney Sweeney there, but no, if you're me or you don't get that.
There
Get
is-
somebody that looks like they work at a pet store.
There is one hot at my grandpa's facility, and all the guys
Oh, dude, that's dangerous
are
work
so
right there. Oh, my
horny
God.
for her.
She's probably ripping them off behind their back. They don't even care.
Yeah, they're pay pigs.
Yeah.
My grandpa, he told me one morning, old Vern asked her to give him a sponge bath every day.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
needs a sponge bath every day?
Every day.
And I'm trying to.
Old Vern does.
I'm trying to not act like, yeah, I'd probably be doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, is Grandpa acting a little holier than thou there? Like,
Yeah.
come on, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Live a little.
So your grandpa is different than Jake's grandpa, who wanted to watch all the hot weather girls?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he would handle hot lady in facility. Doesn't come up too much.
Let's see here. I got a couple of viewer mail birthdays. Dear Dan Bob Cooter, Monday was the birthday of my son. The birth of my son, actually. He says Rowdy's, his rowdy birthday.
0.
Before Overshone stole it. He'd like a name rating from Jake. Callum James. Callum. Like Callum.
It is Callum, I asked.
Callum?
This was introduced in the group chat.
Callum.
I looked it up, too, and it's like it's an old, like, Scottish name. And I also asked, are you going to call him Cal? And he said yes, so I'm giving this I don't know what my rating system is. Like 369's up. It's a good name. Cal James, Caleb, that's a cool sounding name. Now, if it were with a K, we'd have a problem. But the C feels strong and old.
He attached a picture too. His kid, his little baby, brand new baby, laying in the dog bed because it fit like perfectly in there, and his dog is like laying on the outside. Like,
yeah, that was
my bed, bro.
That was a photo that was sent to the group chat, and you'd be interested in this. A couple of us gave the exclamation and like the party hat, but I didn't say anything. Really, nobody did. Everybody just gave him like the thumb reaction. And then like 9 hours later, KJ was like, let me just be the first to say congrats. And it did look like this person just birthed a human, and the best I can do is I'm like, exclamation. Like, nobody even says, hey man, love you.
I'm with the heart.
It's just okay.
Drop a heart, you're good.
Move on.
But guess KJ is this higher level human than the rest of us.
It does actually come up like that a lot.
This is from Landry Atkinson. He says, thanks and always foul up 3. Dear Uncle Taint Tickler, I know Steve Noviello would call this super gay, but I am writing in to wish happy birthday to good dude Matt Dallas.
Wow. Yeah. Why is he not over here?
I don't know. Come on over. Want to come over or no? We do have closing remarks coming up. Matt Dallas, confusingly, first introduced himself as Matt Dallas, and then later he's like, well, my name's Matt Grimm. I'm like, okay, do you want me not to use that name? He's like, oh, no, go ahead. So
I never said my name was Matt Grimm.
You've never told me that.
You got it from my email.
Well, then I said, am I allowed to call you that on the air? And you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good.
So I just don't understand this whole...
But he's right, though. He didn't tell you to call him that.
Okay.
I said it was okay. Call me whatever you want.
Look, I'm confused, too.
Yeah, I'm just like, why Matt Dallas in the first place if you are comfortable with just being...
The problem is you're trying to understand these punk rockers right now.
Okay.
And there's no point. Sometimes they come up with other names. Sometimes they do roller derby. All sorts of crazy
Bill
stuff.
writes, I had the pleasure of meeting Matt at the Austin event. I want to give him props for being such a solid representative of the Dumb Zone.
Yes.
I'm bummed I couldn't make it to the birthday bash today. I'm sure the trucker went all out. That's Bill from Austin.
That's Dr. Bill, by the way. And Dr. Bill will be in the den on, I believe, November 21st, because November 20th, he gets his, he passes his oncology medical degree thing, so he's coming to you guys.
What if he doesn't pass?
Ooh.
Well, he's supremely confident. And he's the guy that has the buddy that's the lawyer, if you guys remember from Austin.
Yeah.
We're sitting next to each other in the back row. But yeah, Dr. Bill's awesome.
He'd come out and scan you that day.
Scan me for what? Everything?
Cancer, I guess, right? Is that what he's doing?
That's what he's doing. He could just look at you
just
and tell
fire
you.
a digit in there, because I'll take that. And good morning, Dan. I want to write a birthday request for my brother Derek. He's turning 37 or 38. Who could know? Like you, Dan, he's a fan of the tiny iPhone. He has somehow kept his alive and going against the odds of low battery life and being unable to upgrade any apps. I'm writing in a day early. His birthday is tomorrow. But because he has this iPhone with a button, his phone won't download the Patreon app, so he can only listen to free episodes. Leaders are Lone Star Beer, and the transition of Run the Ball Blake to Get Off My Lawn Blake.
Same guy.
Never punt from Justin. Yeah, is that the same?
Okay, so
Feels like it.
Matt's a pretty smart guy. I feel like he knows about a lot of different stuff, including tech stuff. That sort of planned obsolescence obviously is real. You know, like my wife's old iPad, we can't get Disney on it. They just hard limit it. But I swear to God, dude, that this battery on this Whoop is drastically different than it was 1 month ago when they introduced their new product. Drastically different.
Is there some way for them to...
I don't understand how they would do that with a piece of hardware. And, I understand if they're made to phase out at a certain point, but that would take them projecting out their next product launch exactly years out, which I don't think they could do. But I saw a guy at Flag on Sunday, and I'm like, dude, is yours? It's a joke. I don't know how that works. Somehow they know to throttle this product when they introduce another one. Anyways.
So today in history, we have Thursday, June 5th.
Seems like everyone's like, we just have to accept this. They can just make your stuff suck. Done.
Yeah. That's called the way it is. Is today your actual birthday, June 5th?
Today is my actual birthday.
6-5. On this day in 1968, Senator Robert F. Kennedy shot mortally wounded. On this day in 1981, the Centers for Disease Control reported that 5 men in Los Angeles came down with a rare kind of pneumonia. The first recognized cases of
You've
AIDS.
got the AIDS.
On this day in the year 2002, Jake, 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart abducted from her Salt Lake City home. She would be found by police in March 2003 in a Salt Lake City suburb.
Yeah.
Brian David Mitchell was sentenced to life without parole. The other kidnapper, Wanda Barzee, was released in 2018.
She was. Yeah.
Was she on Dancing with the Stars, too? Or what was the...
No, Elizabeth Smart was on The Masked Dancer. It was really, really weird because, obviously they're reaching on that show and somebody's like, who is it? He's like, I think I know who it is. It's Elizabeth Smart. She takes the thing off and then it says like author and public speaker. And the whole crowd's going crazy for kidnap Elizabeth Smart. But yeah, she was not far from her home.
And you were upset because, how come somebody didn't kidnap me? I could be all famous.
I could have rocked the bee outfit on Masked Singer.
Wasn't there a time when people were theorizing that Tom Brady was the masked guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's part of his Fox deal.
Yeah. And on this day in 2018, sexism ended.
Oh, good.
The Miss America pageant announced they would eliminate the swimsuit competition from the event. The head of the organization's board of trustees said, "We're not going to judge you on your appearance because we are interested in what makes you, you."
Right. That's why I believe actually Chewbacca Mom won that year.
That's right. They're all...
It's just not. It's about merit. It's not nothing
content
about
of their
appearance.
character.
Yeah.
Other birthdays today include Robinson Chirinos is 41.
Robinson Chirinos.
Former Ranger. Mike Zimmer is 69.
And 69ing with a very young,
yes,
very
the question
attractive
is,
woman.
how old is his girlfriend?
She's older than Jordan Hudson, but not by much.
Can't be 40.
And he's married to her. No.
Keep that question in mind.
Okay.
When I tell you Robert Kraft is 84. Doesn't he have a young girlfriend?
I know he did. I don't know if he still does, but do you remember how we found out about his young girlfriend? There was an audition that she was doing for some Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson movie, and she had him act in the scene with her. As old-ass Robert Kraft. He's got a suit on, green screen.
That is awesome.
Hilarious.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas is 50.
Dan.
What a beating. The Cavs' all-time games played leader until LeBron.
I bet Joe has some Big Z stories in a Euro that was around long enough.
Yeah. God. Sam Darnold is 28.
I saw a note the other day out of OTAs that it was a perfect Dan note. It was like Seahawks media gets their first look at Sam Darnold. He threw 2 interceptions in 7 attempts. Like, oh, wow.
What are we doing here?
Sell.
And the problem with the reason I don't want minicamp stats is this will affect me in my fantasy draft. I'll be like, I remember hearing a lot of bad stuff about Sam Darnold early on.
Such a joke.
Because I buy it all. Torrey Holt is 49, not the Stars pregame host.
Holy shit. I was thinking about him the other day, man.
The wide receiver.
That guy was – we should try to book him.
Okay.
I found him on Twitter the other day. He's a high school football coach. But, yeah.
He's not in the game anymore?
He's not in hockey, but he was from Minnesota. He had played hockey in college in the minors, and it was right when I got hired to do the Stars board hopping on the weekend, and he was a wild card. He was very Gordon Bombay feeling. Like, I don't think he was hosting the Stars postgame show because he got a DUI, but you couldn't really tell that wasn't it. He came out and played flag football with me once, got in a fight.
Really?
Yeah, he was a little 5'9", 5'8" hockey player who was just spitfire. Great dude. He hosts with Sevy, and I think Sevy hated him. It was awesome, dude. A lot of fun.
John Carlos is 80. The Olympian who gave the Black Power salute in the 1968 Olympics and was heralded as a hero when he got back home. And showered with riches.
Quite the opposite.
Nick Kroll is 47.
I think he's funny, but I also think his dad might run like one of the most ominous global security firms in the world. Let me look.
Chuck Klosterman, 53.
Always have a place in my heart.
I think he's working on a new book. Should be coming out here soon. Book Chuck Klosterman, will you, Blake?
Okay.
Author Rick, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Riordan, 61. Riordan? He's kind of a kid's book author, I think. My kids are really into reading something that he did. Disney guy, too. Born in San Antonio. Jeff Garland, 63. From the Larry David program. Ron Livingston is 58. From Swingers and then Office Space.
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff after that, but never really became like a household name. Band of Brothers. I don't know.
Mark Wahlberg is 54.
Oh, man. Go on for days.
From the great movie Fear.
What was it? The plane wouldn't have hit the World Trade Center if he was on it.
Yeah. But honestly, if you don't think that, you're not a man.
Because
I 100%
totally buy that.
In my head, I even am like, I think I could have done something.
Like,
I'm not shading you fellas, but
Trump will be like, I would have ran into that school to, like, okay.
Yeah, well,
Mark Wahlberg says it. I'm like, I think he would have.
Yeah. I mean, he beat up that guy that had one eye.
Yeah.
Look, you messed with Mark Wahlberg. What are you doing?
I don't think the guy was even messing with him.
What? You were near him.
That's true.
That was your fault.
Maybe if you had that other eye, you would have noticed this is not a man to be messed with.
Ellen Foley is 74. Ellen Foley, probably known by nobody. She sang Paradise by the Dashboard Light with Meatloaf. And I love that song.
I don't get Meatloaf.
Good song.
Good song. I don't get it either.
The basis behind the song is great. Talking about like making out and getting laid in the backseat of the car.
I like that.
Yeah, the whole premise. It's a whole story. It's wonderful, and it all comes down to the basic premise of the story is we will lie to have sex with you. So the basic she was saying no, I don't want to do it. Will you love me forever? You have to promise, and he then eventually gives in and says yes, I will love you forever. I swore I'd love you till the end of time. And then the next line is, so now I'm praying for the end of time to hurry up and arrive, because if I have to spend another minute with you, I don't think that I could really survive.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful story. It's just, and it all started
really
in this car. And Meatloaf, honorable guy who keeps his word.
Yeah.
Kind of hit home for you there, huh?
Don't do the end of time. Say till the end of
Well, see, I was unaware of that song.
This podcast or something.
There's a scene in Team America where, I don't know, there's like action hero goes away, comes back, everybody's scared of what's going to happen next, and the female lead is like, can you promise me you'll never die? Like he's trying to have sex with her. I don't know if I can do that. Promise me that you will never die. I promise I will never die. And then the next cut is 6 straight minutes of the puppets having sex. He just looks her dead in the eye. I will never die. And then he's just nailing her. Like, yes, we will lie.
Yeah. No, every Sunday. Sometimes I go Wednesday night to church.
I'm very active
in
the youth group.
Dude, I went to a lot of church in high school with my church-going girlfriend.
You know what I was trying to do?
Matt?
I was getting forced to go, and I was going mostly with kids who they didn't go to my high school, and I was kind of trying out like the bad boy thing, and it was not working like at all. No.
All right, our birthday of the day.
Just a dork.
Runner-up. Joe Gatto.
Oh, wow. How's he doing?
I don't know.
Laying low, sitting the next couple plays out.
He's from Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
But our birthday of the day, before our Henry birthday, which is the one for the kids, birthday of the day, Linda Holiday is 62.
Matt doesn't know.
Search her name. I like to watch you discover who she is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is, have we gotten the tell-all yet? This is Bill Belichick's ex-girlfriend.
Longtime girlfriend. But yes, she has, I think, spouted off some opinions about his new girlfriend recently. And she's 62, so if Bill Belichick was dating her, you'd be like, man, kind of robbed the cradle, didn't you? 12-year age difference.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a very attractive woman. She was running the Bill Belichick Foundation. What a mess, dude.
And our, we can call this our Henry birthday, but it's for Blake. Tyler Blevins is 34.
Dude.
No, this is Ninja, bro.
Oh, no. Is it not Tyler
Trailblazer.
and Dude Perfect?
All the Dude
All of
Perfect
them.
guys are named Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler Blevins is Ninja.
Yeah.
Who I believe I remember Dan had to retire due to his declining abilities at the age of 25.
Yes.
The sport had passed him by. He was moving to the booth.
Born on this day, now dead.
Wonder what his net worth is.
Lancelot Ware, the co-founder of Mensa. When do you think he was alive? This isn't that hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I figure it's like late 1800s.
Yeah, it's
mid
1950, 15 to 2000. And Dennis Gabor invented the hologram. It's pretty cool, huh?
Give me your one sheet, your elevator pitch, 3 bullet points on what is a hologram. Go. What did he invent?
And I read his Wikipedia this morning, so I don't know. It's like you put the thing and the thing, and then
I don't know how it works.
How does
it
overlaps
work? I don't know how it
something.
works.
Something overlaps something, and then
They do like the Star Wars Princess Leia thing and put a bunch of fog in front of it. That's how it works.
Died on this day, still dead. Mildred Hill, who wrote "Happy Birthday to You."
Oh,
Okay.
damn. You think she got the points, the back end? Or did she just get a loaf of bread?
When do you think she was alive?
Let's start with
that's a
Happy
good one.
Birthday to You. I wonder what we go to next. Okay, let's do it again. Happy Birthday to You. What can we say next?
Do it again.
What if we do it?
Now, let's increase in pitch. Happy Birthday to You. Okay.
Wait, when was she alive? She lived to the age of 56. Can you name one of the years that she lived? Matt?
I'm going to say
1845.
I'm going to say we did not have the Happy Birthday song we have right now during the Civil War. So
That's what I was thinking.
This person was born in 1880, and Happy Birthday is a 1900s song.
Let's say she was alive in 1920.
You're right, Blake. 1916 she was born.
Good.
Great Depression, bring back a little happiness kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Happy Birthday
died on this
sucks.
day in 2004,
Happy birthday
Ronald
to you.
Reagan.
Like right now, overall, net impact on the world, we eliminate Happy Birthday. No one's mad.
It is like
absolutely no one.
Dude,
translated
lots
to
of ladies are mad.
It's like in every language.
I know.
Today in history.
It's the one thing everyone agrees on is this stupid song.
I have a piece of audio while Scene is here.
Okay.
Because as you will remember, his little broadcast prodigy Simon asked Tyler Smith the question about paintball, which then led to a free throw competition that the Cowboys are having. Well, Simon did it again, and this time he asked our buddy Ted Emmerich a question. Okay? And this is how Ted handled that.
An iconic game. Would you rather call the first 90% or the final 10%?
Oh man, 90-10.
So he sees it immediately.
So great.
That's awesome.
And then has to cook
Let's
up.
get Jared to work that in next week.
90-10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Iconic game. Would you rather call the first 90% or the final 10%?
And I think you hear a, ooh, like that's an awesome question.
Yeah.
And then he just has to run with it.
Oh man, 90-10. That's good. So
it's good.
I think it's the last 10 because that's what people are going to remember. You know? And that's not to take away from the 90, the build-up. It's very important.
Build-up's fun.
But yeah, if it's an iconic game, I'm just going to assume it's going to come down to a finish that will be remembered for a long time. And I want to be there for that. Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Of course he does.
His
Of
gears
course.
were turning for a cum joke.
He's trying to determine here, like, all right, how old is this kid? How okay are we?
How does he know?
He's asking the question,
What's going
so
on?
I'm probably okay.
No one
around
else here knows what just happened.
No disrespect to that 90, which is very important. That's great.
It is the build-up. Anyway, Frankel and Frankel would like to present closing remarks. You know who they are?
Absolutely. A bunch of threes.
That's how you dial them, yeah. But what are they? What is Frankel and Frankel?
Oh, injury lawyer.
That's right, personal
You,
injury attorneys.
You get in a wreck, call 911, then call the Frankels.
Call the Frankels. They will fight that insurance company so that you don't have to, because the insurance company is going to fight you. You know that's the case.
I feel about the insurance company the way these guys feel about quality assurance techs for regional convenience store chains.
Right.
Don't want to deal with them. That's why the Frankels are
Frankel
here.
and Frankel wishes they didn't have to exist. But
Hey,
you need them.
It
You
hurts,
need them on that wall.
It hurts them a lot more than it hurts you.
Yeah, but they're very experienced. They used to work with the insurance companies, so they know their tricks, and they can use that knowledge against them in court for you, get you what you deserve. If you do find yourself needing a personal injury attorney, 214 or 817, and then dial all threes. Matt Dallas /Grim. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Don't even really have a guess on the age.
It could be anything.
Yeah, it really could.
He might be 28.
So,
I'm exactly double that. Good guess, Dan.
Okay, well, I can't do that.
It's my Sergei Zubov birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that now because I love Sergei Zubov. Had his sweater for sure. So what's your bit? The trucker is... So you came in... The trucker. No. You came in... you joined us in the den.
Yes.
Where we first met you. And as I recall, we were taken by you and the trucker's relationship because... you were very outwardly, or she was talking about enjoying pornography with you, that this is a great thing.
Yep, she loves it.
For couples to enjoy together.
Yes.
Cosign.
Yeah. Then, of course, we got to know you as we went on the DZ RV. You mopped up with the MVP, although I don't know that I voted for him after that last day, making me hop on the at like a 3:30 in the morning departure time. But we were like at my house at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, you were a champion. You were awesome. And I played the psychological.
I know you did.
I threw out 2 a.m. just to get you to agree to it.
I know, and I fell right into it.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Oh, 4 is great.
Right. I was fired. I thought I had a victory as I was going to bed.
That's why they don't
I was hoping
Big
just
Mac.
for 5.
But I knew he wanted to leave
And
at
I hate
2
hearing
a.m.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
That he
Left more on
he,
the
was-
table,
he
did
would
you?
have accepted 5.
But then he asked Dan, so, what time are you thinking about leaving? Dan's like, 8 or 9? Well, I was thinking 2.
Right.
That check-in at the hotel was great. 2?
Well, I want to go to Denver. I don't care how we get there.
Well, I'll volunteer my services.
I think I'm leaning towards
in
the DZRV
perpetuity.
again.
I think if we do a flight, though, we have to get him one.
Oh, shoot, babe. Yeah,
You know,
that's
let's
what I was thinking.
Let's just get him a flight.
We save money.
Yeah. I'll drive from the Denver airport to all locations.
There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, there we go.
Because it is great to have a driver.
Yeah.
Or listen, we can work this out. But
Yeah,
we
don't
need
have to
him
worry about
involved.
shipping gear.
He could meet us there with the RV. We'll fly. I'll pull a Jake and I'll fly.
I don't know what it. I don't
what
know
Jake
what it
did
is,
last time.
but me, that guy, and that guy. Rob was a little different. Nobody takes any of us seriously. Like, other adults don't look at us and think, like, this is an adult that I need to deal with seriously. But him, they do.
Right.
Like, when people see him, they're like, oh, this grown adult man. Like, this is business time. But if it's any of the rest of us,
Hey,
they're
did
like,
you know
what
this?
Do you do? Like, what are you?
Did you know this? Is this true? When he drove us on the RV to California, I was of the I thought, oh, here's a guy who has driven giant RVs all his life. I feel very safe. He had never driven one before.
I drove a U-Haul truck one time, like a small U-Haul truck.
I've done 10 times.
But he figured this out on the fly.
Yeah.
I thought this guy is experienced. My life is fine because, like, if you were driving it, I would have been very worried about it.
Right.
If Blake was driving, whatever. But it was Matt, who has a friend in the RV business. So
but that is actually
who happens
true.
to be free this week.
No, I do actually have a good friend who owns an RV dealership.
But I thought that meant,
yeah.
okay, so he's lent you RVs before.
But
you've
here's the
taken these
thing.
big trips.
This is the type of person, though, that is capable of making you feel that way. Like, oh, he's probably got it.
No, yeah, I bought it. And then even after the drive, I'm like, okay, everything seemed to work.
It's all good. Worked out.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
We're here. No one's dying.
I'll stop talking for your closing remarks.
Okay, I got a few things to say. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Blake, Dan, Jake, Clayton, you guys are awesome. The trucker obviously went all out, as she always does. Thank you very much. All the friends that showed up, Caitlin, Jameson, Steve, Matt, Doug,
Hey.
Rob, 360 Scene, who's now gone, and really appreciate it. Thank you very much. It was an awesome birthday. Tons of fun. Also, just a couple things for you guys. One, life is all about like facilitating happiness, right? Blake, you did a great job with your unhoused guy, Angelo. I would encourage you to not really pick apart his expenditures. Let that guy's happiness be his own.
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
I know.
Like, feel good for him for ordering 3 Republic tacos and a iced tea or whatever he orders every Monday.
Okay.
Dan, I try to facilitate some of your happiness, but you didn't respond to my text 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you even got it. You did.
I don't know what you're
You know, it was
to.
a similar scenario to 2 or 3 months ago when I went to Colorado.
Don't worry, man, I got you.
I did go to California, and I let you know I was going to California.
Oh.
Anyway, and Jake, I will help facilitate some of your happiness right now.
Oh, no.
So your boy Schotty.
Yeah.
Ping pong's not going to get it done.
No.
All right? Please do not be fooled by that. And I'll give you a good example of why ping pong will not work. If you and Dan were to have played ping pong during your ordeal with the courts, would that have bonded you? No. What bonded you was the struggle and the toughness and the massive struggle that you guys went through. You guys bonded over that. You came through. It was a massive life thing for you, and you came out on the other side. So don't buy into Schotty's BS about playing ping pong that's going to save the team. Team may be fine. Don't want to disappoint you. I just don't like seeing you get overly, I know you're that guy. So I'm just going to do something that will facilitate your happiness here. I'm going to invite you onto the bandwagon. The Buffalo Bills bandwagon has plenty of room.
The whole Taliban thing is appealing.
It's great, right? So
too much focus on football there, though.
I know that's the thing. Is where's the
everybody who goes there is like, we walk
but
in the building.
Josh Allen is the Luka of football. Everybody loves him. He's great. If you don't win with him, like if you don't win the Super Bowl, you still love like watching him play and seeing him do his thing.
Yeah, I can't.
And he'll never be traded.
I can't do it.
Anyway, you're invited.
I understand.
And I like it's open invitation.
The thing is, like, it's like with any other cost benefit analysis. There's nothing in the world that could ever make me as happy sports wise as the Cowboys with Jerry alive winning a Super Bowl. Like, imagine, dude. Like, you think Michael Irvin's fired up to be at OTAs? If the Cowboys are playing in a Super Bowl, again, he might not physically be able to handle it. The level of, if that were to happen, it would make my sports life complete. So I can't bail on them,
Well, you don't have to bail, but just remember this one thing. Happiness is based on expectations.
That's the Dumb Zone's motto.
Yes.
No, the Schotty, like, they're trying to microwave culture, which is always kind of lame.
Interesting. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they have to do.
Did you make that up?
I don't know. I guess so.
I've never heard that. Yeah, that's awesome.
But it just doesn't.
Yes,
really
culture is
work.
just a thing. That
they'll go
happens
through
or
it.
it doesn't,
Yeah.
and it's probably a lot of it's based on actually being good.
But dude,
I think that's what comes first.
Yeah, probably. Or the struggle of being bad while you're trying to get good. They don't even have time for that necessarily. But
obviously Parcells came in and changed the culture.
Right, but that's the thing.
Or is he just kind of a badass who knows tactical things better, knows how to identify talent better, and actually coach the team better? Therefore, they were actually a better team. And look, now the culture's better because they won 4 more games.
It's some combination of all that, but the difference is when Parcells walks in or Andy Reid walks into Kansas City from Philadelphia, they're like, I'm effing Bill Parcells. I'm Andy Reid. We don't need to go do Dance Dance Revolution. You know me. You know what I'm about. But if you show up and everyone's like, I kind of forgot you were involved in football, then you're going to have to go to dinner because you have nothing else to talk about other than like, hey, I know Pete Carroll. You guys remember my dad? But week 1, Caitlin and I will be we'll be locked in for a 19-0 run. 20-0 now.
So like what? Game 10?
Oh no, the first part of the schedule is easy. The hype machine's going to be off the rails.
Well, if you go undefeated, there is one less game because you get the bye.
The bye.
Playoffs,
There you go.
Yeah. And I do now see your text. Yeah, sent
That's
like
tough.
at 3 o'clock. I would have absolutely,
we could still talk afterwards. We thought about you.
But yeah, you always facilitate my happiness.
I want to make Matt our company's financial advisor.
We got a lot of those.
You combine forces with myself and 690 Scene, and you guys would be unstoppable.
This guy, we're like, hey, what do we do with this money? Should we get, again, like a T-shirt cannon?
Decibel meter.
Right.
Should we drive or should we fly?
Yeah. And then
Should
Matt
we-
emails me every week about, like, you should be investing this. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Should we be giving Angelo $25 a week?
Oh, dude.
Get Angelo $1,000 a week. You started it.
Yeah.
Get everybody on board. Everybody pitch in $1 a week to Angelo on the card.
Yes.
And let him buy beer and booze and women and whatever else he wants. Yeah.
A spot schedule.
That'd be a good
or
experiment.
whatever.
Make the man.
Yeah. We'll give you $100 a week as long as you advertise.
Give him a T-shirt.
All right.
Is that it?
That's one last thing. Again, the driving thing. We got training camp coming up. You guys want to go to Denver? We got stuff. I'm always in. So
he can move.
Let's just make it plan. Let's just plan it.
Let's do it.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
This has been fun, Blake. What?
Adios, mofo.
Gotta go before this becomes
now we clap. Now we clap.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
Generic summer event. What are you doing this Saturday? The best event in June, I'll say. What are you doing around 6? Live music, drinks, laughs for your fix. Will you drive through the colony? You need directions, please call me. Will you support the Dumb Zone protest? Just show up to Austin Ranch at the Shack. The generic summer event. Prophets and outlaws with Grady Spence. Jimmy Nelson, the comedian. It's a pool party, so it's better than the den. Have you ever had a Lone Star beer? Or heard Grady Spencer and the work in your ear? Ever listen to the Prophets Outlaws sing? Or do you need a new roof called Qualis Roofing? We'll have Lucy's Lone Star and Dan, Blake and Jake. So just come out to the colony for God's sakes. There may even be an appearance by the Sea Cow. So come to the generic summer event and drop your towel. Generic